equal to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's equal to 321-321.
Don't miss Travis Lee.
Live from LA Live.
First of all, who chooses to be an umpire? For God's sake. Hey, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to take the job where everybody hates my guts every day.
Coming up this morning at 10 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Here we go, 10 o'clock straight up on a live imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show.
Lit.
Good morning. I don't see producer Emily.
She's there. She is.
Oh, she was under the desk.
I'm just all duck and covering
She
from
just
the
got out.
over here.
She was there for 21 hours.
That first California earthquake will do something to a person.
If
It's
you
not
want
my first earthquake.
California earthquake, I specified.
I had several in California. I've lived there for 3 years.
If you watched any local news outlet or CNN yesterday or ABC World News tonight,
CBS New York.
Yeah.
CBS New York,
CBS New York, yeah.
you saw the inside of our radio station, and more importantly, producer Emily looking like somebody shot her in a movie and just dropping. I don't know if that's how people really. I've never shot somebody, but
I would assume.
Jorge.
Why are you asking me for?
come
Come
on.
on. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
No, it was an amazing moment, and it took a regular Monday where there's not a lot going on in August.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on between the communities on Twitter, but that's a whole other topic. And all of a sudden, a viral moment. We haven't seen those sort of numbers for local content since we broke a bobblehead in here. So that's impressive.
It was a real earthquake. And the
It's a
cameras,
real movie, Jack.
It was a real movie and a real earthquake. The cameras are bobbing around. The stuff was swinging from the ceiling.
Too, where BC was, Brian Cohen.
That was great.
Things were falling down.
Yeah.
He went to...
And watching him move, like, oh, and then go get out of there was amazing. I was in the conference room with Mason Laura when it happened.
And?
The first jolt, the windows jolted. And, you know, there's a lot of that kind of feel in this building because there's construction on floors and stuff. And then you're like, wait a minute, but that was really hard. And we kind of looked at each other. Was that an earthquake?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the second one came and Mason did this. He puts his hands on the table and just looking straight ahead. It was incredible. And I was like, Mason, okay? It's going to be okay. And then I kind of stood like at the door, you know, where you're supposed to.
Sure.
I opened up the glass door and kind of stood there just in case.
In the door jam.
In the door jam.
It's what you're
In the glass door jam.
Emily demonstrated a level of quickness that would have stood out at
It
the
was
NFL
incredible.
Combine.
Yes.
Like you got underneath that table in less than 1 second. It was impressive.
Waiting, I was like, all right, if that TV falls, gets Trav in the shoulder, then I'm getting
Suing the
on it.
company.
Right. Yeah. No,
I wanted to catch me just on the elbow. I don't want it on the head because that could be the end.
Trav is suing
but,
natural disasters.
Yeah, I'm going to sue whoever constructed the building.
Yeah.
I was doing, textbook. You get under the table. What you guys were
That
taught
was
in school
textbook.
that I wasn't taught in school. I just learned from TikTok and other places. Then Malika Andrews was absolutely fantastic when
She
she was
nailed it.
hosting NBA Today, and she was just like, everything's okay, everything's good. We're going to continue on with my interview with Rekha Lobo. It was great.
It was the biggest earthquake I've felt in a long time. It was not
Biggest one I've ever felt.
It was not Northridge. It was not Whittier. It was not any of those that I remember as a kid or a younger person thinking, okay, this might be the end of it all. It wasn't that, but it was the first real
Plus, it was
shaker in a
short,
while.
too.
I will
10
remind
seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
10,
maybe
15
less.
seconds.
Yeah.
It was 30 seconds.
Was it?
Santa Monica was shaking for 30 seconds, so I'm assuming
It didn't feel like that here.
No, it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
We could see it on the camera.
I will remind Mace that if that was it, and we were in rubble together, and it's the end, I would roll over or roll close and put my finger in his mouth as the last moment to remind him, you should have let me in your hot tub. Because all Cappy and I want to do is go in your hot tub, and he won't do it.
Well, he did say during Super Crosstalk yesterday that when it was going on, he described who he was with.
Right.
That it was you, and said, this is how I'm going out.
Yeah.
It's just me and Chris.
It almost is Morales, by the way. It's more of the on-air bit.
Yeah. Just
There's
you,
a lot of Chris's around, so we want a vocal
him
font.
and Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher. I think she's actually makes a return today on the afternoon.
She coming back?
I think
Nice.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, imagine that. That would be Mace's karma. Not good karma, but karma.
Yeah.
if he has to die with me in rubble.
That's
with your finger in his mouth.
If I can get my finger there.
The finger part would be obviously the very worst part of the scenario that you described, but being trapped, no. Hit me over the head with something heavy. And,
I don't want
being trapped in rubble for days. That's at the top of the list.
I mean, I was young. I was 6 or 7 when the San Francisco quake happened, the Bay Area, and the news stories about people being found on the Bay Bridge that had crumbled. That to me would be the nightmare. There was somebody with like 20 days or something, and I think that person ended up living.
Oh my gosh!
But that to me, you're right. Like the movie Earthquake, the old '70s one. That to me is one of the scariest movies ever made.
Well, remember the Superman with Christian 79 or 80 when the Earth opens up and swallows Lois Lane, and he has to fly the Earth backward to get her to spit it out.
That's no good.
What's the last earthquake movie?
Well, there was like Volcano. There have been those natural disaster movies.
The Rock did one. There was a little
San Andreas. San Andreas. Alexandra Daddario is in that.
There you go.
In case you were curious.
They still have the right at Universal Studios?
She's the heavyweight champion of the world.
I don't know. I haven't taken the tour in a while.
She is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
And I believe she's expecting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Good for her. Congratulations to Ms. Daddario.
And The Impossible, which is about the tsunami in Thailand. Obviously, it's not an earthquake.
Oh, that's a horrible movie. Yeah, that's a bad movie. Meaning it's scary.
That's the one where the wave comes over the hotel?
Yeah. And it's like Tom Hiddleston. No, not Hiddleston. Tom Holland is in it as a young Tom Holland.
Nope. Yeah. Not interested. Not happening.
But Mookie Betts last night.
Pretty good.
Mookie's back.
He was back.
He was. A home run and Shohei hit one. I mean, do you feel a little bit better than last week when you said, now they erased the whiteboard because we need to do the intern board
because it was inaccurate.
Well, no, you said the Dodgers may not make the World Series.
No, I still say that. I still don't think they're
going to win the World Series.
Oh, you said
they might not make the playoffs.
The board said playoffs.
Yeah, that's the part. I feel 1% better today than I did last week because Michael Kopech pitched really well yesterday. That's the silver lining in this whole thing.
The guy who was the Disney CEO? Or?
No, not that. It was
Bob Chapek.
That's Bob Chapek. Yeah, this is Michael Kopech.
Oh, okay.
Different guy. Different guy. I don't know.
I think it's the same person.
Bob Chapek may be able to throw 100. I don't know.
Maybe the same person.
You never know.
Yeah, no. Look. Mookie was terrific last night. That's not their problem. Their shortstop is better. That's not their problem. Kershaw was really good yesterday. Yeah. That gives you a little bit of a glimmer, but I think we're all more relieved that he pitched well than surprised that he pitched well. But Kopech was good. Hudson was good. So a little bit of a glimmer of hope. Not a real one, but at least for a week or two, you can hang your hat on that.
It was just a couple days ago you walked in with that, you know?
I'm still not worried about it.
You're going to need that.
That's going to get put to use. Because I said if they don't make the World Series, that thing's coming out.
No, they got
the
Dave Roberts bubble.
No, they got to win the World Series.
I've always said that. The one who says win, oddly enough, is Mason. He says they need to win the World Series.
Why wouldn't they need to win a World Series? Like, what would be the justification for?
Well, I'm trying to give Dave a little slack.
Especially that franchise who's been knocking on the door as much as they have had collapses like no tomorrow, especially these last couple of years. No, I think they got to win the World Series.
You would think after $1 billion plus. You would think
1.3.
Should they win the World Series? Is that the goal? Of course it is. But we're not arguing that if they don't win the World Series that they're going to fire him, right? That's a different conversation because they're not going to fire him.
At all.
No, they won't fire him. If they make it to
the World Series. If they get swept in the first round.
I think the only way he gets fired is if somehow, some way they missed the playoffs, which seems, I'd put that at 1% right now. That's the only way that he does. And quite frankly, I don't even know if
they lost in a wild card match. You don't think he was...
Why would this year be different than last year? And I know it should, but this isn't like 1 year. This is what they do. They go out early. So if it happened again, I mean, I guess it's a third year in a row as opposed to 2 years in a row. I'd be mildly surprised if they did it, but they haven't done it yet.
It's an outrage. It's an outrage if they don't win the World Series.
They're not good enough to win the World Series right now. They're not. Their bullpen's not good enough.
I tell you, I keep watching that 88, the World Series documentary on Apple Plus.
You're trending into Travis territory where I just watched Fernando Mania on a loop, and you're going with the 88 yearbook on a loop?
Well, that was my team. I mean, I was young, but I remember memories of going to games, watching games with my grandfather, and Oral. I mean, again, his performance, he should be in the Hall of Fame based on 1988.
Can I ask you a question? So I'm going to it's with the Oral situation. Why do more people not pitch like that? Where Oral Hershiser pitched every fifth day, pitched into the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning virtually every time he took the ball, pitched multiple seasons in a row without ever really missing a turn, got more or less everybody out that he faced, did not throw 102 miles an hour, did not have his elbow reconstructed time after time after time after time. Why is that not the guy that you want to replicate? Why is Fernando Valenzuela or Tom Glavine or Pedro Martinez or Andy Pettit or these guys that just pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched? River Ryan officially is getting Tommy John surgery. Jesus. He lasted for 5 minutes before his arm exploded. Like, how many arm explosions do you need before you're like, this doesn't work? I get it. Having a guy that throws 100, nobody can hit him. They're not pitching.
No, it's not. You've told me this about certain batters as well. Certain things are not valued anymore. So until baseball starts valuing, I don't need a dude to pitch 101 miles an hour. I'd rather have a guy that I know is going to start the entire season. He places the ball where he needs to. Maybe he's between 92 and 95, and you could live with it. It's just not valued anymore.
But is the value having Garrett Cole never pitch?
Let's use the Dodgers as a great example. I would say Dodgers. Okay, however you want to rank the best run organizations in Major League Baseball, Dodgers are pretty close to it. How many dudes have they had out? That list Emily put together yesterday. That list is as long as a football roster.
What's the value of the following?
Okay, so explain that one to me. That here's an organization that has every resource that they possibly
and they're ahead of the curve.
And they have all these other young pitchers that come up and at least seem to have some kind of promise. And they don't believe in what you just said about having guys that are out there that are pitching 95, but it's more about placement.
Walker Buehler is going to pitch tomorrow, but he's been either hurt for 2 years or bad. Yamamoto is not pitching right now. Dustin May is having his elbow rebuilt again. Tony Gonsolin is having his elbow rebuilt. Blake Trinan is down and has had his elbow rebuilt. Shohei Ohtani had his elbow rebuilt again.
River Ryan's about to get his
River
elbow
Ryan
rebuilt.
has it done right now. Patrick Sheehan is having his elbow rebuilt as we speak. Those are all on the same team. How much value is in that?
So look at a picture of Oral Hershiser or Greg Maddux or any of those pitchers from the Braves. Do they look like the pitchers today? These pitchers aren't massively bigger, but here's the difference. And again, we almost know too much about conditioning now. We've gotten too smart. And I think for pitchers and that arm and the muscles in the arm, maybe back when Don Drysdale was eating a steak, drinking scotch, and smoking a pack of cigarettes every night, for some reason, okay, ask Oral Hershiser the next time he's on, how many times did he go in the weight room? He was a rail. And for that muscle, that arm, and again, I'm not, so if you start tweeting about, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just saying, the pitchers looked a lot smaller back then. And then you had the Roger Clemens all of a sudden that came in. And even before where we think
forever too.
He did. So where we think the steroids began, he still was like a little bulldog, no pun intended. He looked like a bulldog, right? And he was thick. Growing up, I can only remember Clemens looking like that. Everybody else, Andy Pettit, all these guys, they were railed thin.
The pitchers have typically been the biggest players, but you're right. Now they're
tallest, yeah.
They're tallest and for lack of a better word, they big asses, a lot of them, right? Like the heavy bottomed guys.
I understand.
And that's not what it is.
I got a heavy bottom, I get it.
They're all built like bodybuilders now. They're all incredibly strong and lean and athletic and all these things. I don't know. I just don't understand the value of having all of this talent. He throws 100, he throws 100, yeah, none of them pitch. And by the way, the Dodgers have had more than their fair share this season. All of baseball is doing. The Braves are dealing with it. The Yankees have dealt with it. The Phillies have dealt. Every team in baseball has dealt with guys being down. And it's all the same thing.
Will there come a point where a franchise out there is like, that's not what we're looking for anymore? I don't need that guy that's throwing 101.
Need guys to pitch.
But that's what I'm saying.
Literally, I just need somebody to survive.
I'd rather have 10 healthy arms.
They can move the ball.
Than 5 healthy arms, and those 5 are throwing between 99 and 102, 98 and 101, 97 and 100. Like it's going to take a franchise that you feel like knows what they're doing. Okay, I'll give you an example. It's like Tampa Bay decides we're going to take a little bit different of approach here because we can't get anybody healthy, and it's not the Yankees or it's the Dodgers, and then other people follow suit. But
everybody's hurt all the time.
For that to change and for that to happen, if it hasn't happened already.
Well, look at Tiger. Tiger became a specimen, a human specimen. Mm-hmm. It destroyed his body because for golf, he was too big. He started
training like a Navy SEAL, literally.
Using an arm to throw even a 90-mile-an-hour pitch 100 times, that's not normal. It's just not normal. Those muscles are different. Anyway, we can continue this.
But
you know where the muscles are going to be different?
Where?
Friday, August 23rd at Hollywood Park Casino for our fantasy football draft party. The muscles in your brain as you figure out who you're going to draft. Now, here's how in the years past, we've done this where we give away a table or a team. And then people call and say, hey, I don't have 7 friends that are going to show up to this one thing. I want to make new friends. I want new partnerships, new relationships. So, caller number 7 and number 10 at 877-710-ESPN. You win your way into our fantasy football draft party, and you get one slot on a team. And we're going to make our own teams, like making meatballs, where you put your hands in the meat and you roll it all together, and then bam! You got something beautiful. That's what we're going to do with the fantasy football draft party at Hollywood Park Casino. We love HPC, and we can't wait for Friday. You didn't expect me to do that, did you?
I did not. That caught me by surprise.
Caller number 7, caller number 10. We'll be giving them away all day long right here. Exactly.
All right, I want to talk about one of the few positive things we mentioned right there. There's some stuff that's not positive. There is one positive thing coming out of that bullpen. It's coming up next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins an hour earlier. Even more live and local LA sports talk on 710 ESPN. The Travis and Sliwa Show will start at 9 a.m. Mason and Ireland move back to noon to 3, and Shidano and Cappy start the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., we are the destination for LA sports. It's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it begins Monday, September 9th.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Gottlieb.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
That is absolutely ridiculous, Abdul.
And I'm sure we won't use it for imaging at all. Abdul, what are you doing for the Mandy's next year?
I'm showing up and bringing Mason some coffee and some Energizer.
All right,
okay, there you go.
Mason needs some coffee. I had 2 quad espressos today. I don't know what else I can do.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, today at 1 p.m.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
10:19 on a live imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show. If you know what we do Tuesdays here, we play the oldies. And I don't mean the Beatles and the Beach Boys. I mean, we play the KRLA oldies, the homie oldies, like this one. Sly, Slick, and Wicked. Huh, Jorge, why'd you pick Confess in a Field? You got something to say today?
No, it's just...
You want to dedicate this to Brenda at home?
It was next on the queue, you know?
On the queue. We like to have fun here on a Tuesday. Did we get our winners, Emily?
We do have our winners. We got Elijah Sanchez and Jason Chan. So congrats to you guys. We'll see you at the Fantasy Football Draft Party on August 23rd.
Yes, Friday at August 23rd at Hollywood Park Casino. Welcome to our team. We'll give away those spots all day long. Oh, yeah. Aye.
This is usually where you invoke Art LeBeau.
And Art LeBeau. Of course, my Pops played this a lot, too.
Of course.
The homie, 1110 KRLA, which we were on 1110 for many, many years. By the way, congratulations to Good Karma Brands taking over ESPN New York, moving it from 97.5 to 8:80 a.m. The legendary WCBS AM is now going to be ESPN New York. And that's huge because that is a monster signal.
Yeah.
And it's very, for us to be now heard on there in New York City, what a huge accomplishment for Craig Karmazin and everybody here at Good Karma Brands.
That's great news.
Yeah.
That is
massive.
That goes way back.
WCBS was the home of the Yankees for like 40 years.
I know. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We were on 1150 for
1110.
1110.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking 1150 when we were...
The Superstation.
The
was
Superstation.
690, 1150.
That's what it was.
But we here were simulcast on 1110 for a couple years. So, yeah. But, yeah, the 690, 1150, the Superstation.
We had the local hour on.
Well, I remember
on the
Rome
one.
would play live on 690 and then replay on 11. The show was so good that when Travis was there, of course, that they replayed it in Afternoon Drive on 1150.
And when they made us do one live segment exclusive to the other one, and it was World War III.
What are you talking about? The world
it
ended?
Was, oh, my God. Yeah. It was an intense negotiation.
When I was still at San Diego State, interned at 690. Internship finished over the summer, and I got a job on promotions. The job lasted for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, 690 was sold from San Diego to Los Angeles, and I was out of a job.
Hey,
I was like, can I put on my resume?
Welcome to the radio business,
Can
right?
I put on my resume that I was at 690 for 2 weeks employed?
Of course.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about it today in the meeting, and many people remember this. Orange County used to have 2 radio stations that were dedicated to just Orange County, 95.9 KZY and 94.3. It was Kick FM, and for many years a country station. Then it became Cool 94.3 with a legendary guy running it, Craig Powers. But those stations were very community-oriented, and both are like 2 minutes from my house. One's on Ball Road, one was on East Street. And the point being is the only reason those radio stations don't exist or 690 sold was because it was the tech boom and it was the consolidation boom. So Clear Channel Communications, which became iHeartMedia, they were throwing out money like it was...
They're buying everything.
So if you were a private owner in a small market and you bought the radio station for $2 million and maybe you had cash flow of $1 million a year, somebody was offering 20 times cash flow, meaning I'll give you $20 million, you're going to take it.
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah. You would never see me again.
Yeah,
that would be the end of it. You'd see pictures of me in Pinehurst, at Pebble Beach.
You'd be like me under the table yesterday. Whoop,
that's
done.
it. There'd be just a cutout shape of Travis on the wall.
You said we'd see pictures of you?
Yeah.
That means somebody else took a picture, because I think you would just be
I like golf course
pro.
pictures. I like golf course pictures. I'll post a picture from a golf course now and again. I like pictures of food.
Yeah.
Chris, did you know that you can have cheese for dinner?
Like just cheese?
No, I'm sorry, for dessert.
Cheesecake is...
but like a cheese plate for dessert.
That sounds like a good idea. Why not?
I had it for the first time, and it's
What kind of
game-changer.
cheeses?
3 different types of cheeses.
Please tell me.
There was a brie.
Okay.
There was a Munster, and there was a Camembert.
I don't think I've had Camembert.
Camembert's like blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. A nice hard cheese kind of digestive?
Yes, with a little bit of wine.
A little bit of
like a
dried,
port or just regular wine?
I had some regular wine.
A little dried fruit, too.
Little dried fruit, a little honeycomb.
Speaking of charcuterie, last week, producer Emily proclaimed that Aldi, which is, I guess you could call it a discount grocery store now, that's how it's being marketed, has great charcuterie. So I explored...
I said serviceable.
Serviceable.
And cheaper than, like, Albertsons.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's your store, Al. Remember when Albertsons, it was your store?
I love Albertsons. It's
no,
my
I know,
spot.
but that used to be the brand one.
Yes.
Anyway, So I checked out on Sunday afternoon the Aldi in Santa Fe Springs.
Okay.
That one is a little jarring when you walk in. Okay. It also was late on a Sunday, so it had been picked through all day long. Sure. Sunday, big day for the markets. But I will agree. A very serviceable charcuterie section for the price and for the quality. Now, they're owned by Trader Joe's, right, Aldi?
So it's like sister, brother companies.
Okay.
But like Aldi has more of its roots in like Europe.
Okay.
And Trader Joe's has more of its use, obviously, here in Southern California,
In Pasadena.
but also domestically. So it's kind of like they kind of form together, and I guess one big conglomerate. But in general, one thing about Aldi to know is it's not. They cut costs in terms of like you bag your own groceries.
Right.
Basically, the only people there are sometimes stalkers, and people like beeping your stuff as you go by, and you bag everything, checkers, and it's not always the most organized.
Right.
When you look there, you got to kind of dig a little bit.
You got to dig.
stuff. Yeah.
What do you think about bagging?
I can do it.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to dig. That doesn't sound. I'm
Here's the
not.
thing.
I'm not a digger.
Deals, Travis.
I'm not a digger, Slee.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Okay, Mr. Fancy Pants.
If it comes to me digging through things at the grocery store, call me whatever you want.
Is it like
I'm out.
Is it like a Ross? Is it like the Ross of clothing?
I would give you that analogy is not
bad.
horrible.
Yeah.
For certain sections. There's one
you got to
aisle
dig at Ross
called the Aldi Deals aisle, and they'll have like really cool stuff sometimes. Again, you got to dig a little bit.
Is that like the rack in the back of the grocery store at a lot of places?
But it's in the middle.
Near the
middle,
restaurant.
yeah. And
Right, yes, exactly.
But it's not
Al,
food.
Exactly.
It's not
Yeah,
food. It's like
that jar of
and clearance. And I'm like,
no, I'm talking the grocery store. That's by the back. It's like a jar of jelly that has the label half ripped off.
This isn't food though. It's like different stuff.
It's like
or expired.
Different storage things. It's like chargers. It's like a bunch of Aldi branded things that are just like $2, but like sometimes they're really nice. But then the food, the actual charcuterie section in the food is usually fine and taken care of. It's the other stuff.
They had a $3 the block of Gruyere, which at any other market is $9.
Yeah.
It was $3.99.
Okay.
And I love Gruyere.
I might dig for that.
Yeah, I mean.
But you're not digging around for the cheese.
Yeah, you're not. The cheese is right
fine.
there.
Yeah,
okay. What am I digging for?
You're
For
digging
the
for
Aldi
the Aldi
deals.
deals.
Aldi
But
deals,
what
bro.
what are the items?
If you want a ream of paper for 99 cents, you got to dig.
So
nah,
here's some of the
I'm good.
items. And some of it is like it's like a storage container.
Yeah.
No.
Or it's like a chair.
No.
Or it's like an outdoor rug. Or it's an indoor
How about an outdoor rug?
I do need an outdoor rug.
It's sometimes like
I'm in
bug
the I'm in the
spray,
market.
Or it's sometimes it's like school supplies. It's very
I'm
seasonal.
downloading the weekly ads right now.
Oh, yeah, you got it from
now.
Aldi?
Yeah, Aldi's.
Is it Aldi or Aldi?
I call it Aldi.
Okay, let's go with Aldi.
And it's also one of those things where you have to have the quarter. You put the quarter in the grocery cart to keep it going. So they do that so the grocery carts don't get taken or
Yeah, you
lost.
got to put the quarter in there.
So you put the quarter in there.
taken.
Yeah.
It could happen.
And here's the thing: they're smaller. So from a square footage, they're much smaller, so they save costs on that.
Okay.
They don't open till 9 a.m.
Oh.
So like on Sunday, especially, Albertson, Cedarburg, they're open at 6 a.m. So you save, labor cost. But I enjoyed the experience. Again, a little
Clutter-free
jarring when you walk
kitchen.
in.
I'm looking at the carpets right here, right now. They got some items.
Well,
here.
when I'm
Send me the link to the carpets.
When I'm on
in
that
the
side
carpet.
of town, I go to the Stater Brothers in West Whittier, which is a blue ribbon store. It's gorgeous.
Stater Brothers is fine.
So going into that, it was just a little jarring. But
Yeah.
once I was in there and I was seeing the price on salami,
Yeah.
okay,
It's not Erewhon.
no,
Definitely not Erewhon. I'll tell you that. They
I
probably,
finally saw my first ever Erewhon.
What,
I think it's just Air One.
Erewhon?
I don't think
Erewhon.
you don't pronounce the second E.
How do you say
Erewhon.
Erewhon?
Air One.
It's Erewhon.
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 I
It's
saw
more like
my first
Erewhon.
Not
Erewhon.
Erewhon.
Not a huge surprise. Not far from our friend Keith's place.
The Orange County place?
No. In
Seabass.
Calabasas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seabass.
Yeah, Seabass. Kick his ass, Seabass.
What were you doing?
Calabasas, there's Silver Lake, there's
Yeah.
Culver City,
Pasadena.
the Pasadena, yeah.
What were you doing in Calabasas?
I was driving home from Santa Barbara, and it's right by the freeway. And I saw that. It's Erewhon.
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 W-O-N.
Erewhon.
Did you stop by Santa Fe Tacos in Calabasas?
No.
Great spot. Great spot.
You should have went and got some sushi from Erewhon. It's like $60 for.
It's like the Tokyo tuna market, where $1 million bluefin tunas.
God bless people that go
Get
there.
that
one.
Haley
That's
Bieber
awesome.
smoothie for
The
$18.
sake market, whatever that market's
you've
called.
seen that thing.
Yeah, of course.
The guys
I've
are
been
wanting
to it.
give you $1 million. It's like that's a fish, right?
Yep.
It's
That's
stuffed with plutonium. Like why does it cost $1 million? I have no idea. All right, so let's talk about that Dodger pen. Let's talk about
the
Michael
Dodger pen.
Kopech. I am now Jory Hirsch. He steered me all wrong on Michael Kopech. I'm all in. We'll do that next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. And Slee, you know we love our prize picks here on the Travis Slee Show, right? Because it can take a game that maybe you don't have a ton of interest in, and it can make it incredibly exciting because you're playing prize picks. You're picking more or less. For instance, tonight, right? Yordan Alvarez, former Dodger prospect, 9 fantasy points, more or less. Go less. 9 is a ton. Corey Seager, 8.5 fantasy points, more or less. Go more because Corey Seager is awesome. That's prize picks in a nutshell. Pick between 2 and 6 players and win money.
I like looking at some of these straight picks. So Eduardo Rodriguez of the Arizona Diamondbacks, 5.5 strikeouts, more or less. It's that simple. It takes about 60 seconds to submit your entry. Take a look. It doesn't even have to be the team that you're rooting for. You could look at other games out there that you feel like there's some good value on. But here's how you do it. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. What does that mean? That means if you want to put $50 in, they'll match that 50. You want to put $100, they'll match that 100. Code 710 on Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
The
Hey, ESPN LA listeners, it's John Ireland. You want to play golf with me and corporate Greg Bergman? You can, thanks to Terranea. If you listen to the show, you know Terranea is my favorite place in the world. It's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane. Well, you can play golf with Bergman and I at the links at Terranea, and then we'll buy you lunch. Here's how you win. Send a video of your golf swing to @ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram or on Twitter. We'll take a look at your golf swing. If you impress us, you'll be playing golf at Terranea with me and Bergman, and then we'll buy you lunch. And you can all you can eat, all you can drink. We don't care. We're not paying.
The case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob. Something amazing is happening. Data is powering insights and innovation. Network security has cyber attacks playing defense. Devices are improving the quality of work and the quality of life. That's what happens when you partner with CDW. Our experts help you get the most from your technology. We work with you to plan it, build it at scale, and manage it, so you can do amazing things. CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at CDW.com.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh.
Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
10:33 on a live imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show. This was requested in the Travis and Sliwa community. Yeah, we do requested dedications
that.
on Tuesday of the KRLA Oldies. Ain't No Woman by the Four Tops. Porky requested this. To who, Jorge? What's the dedication?
He says to some ruca in the South Bay. So there you go.
Who doesn't like a South Bay ruca?
Shout out Porky.
Beautiful, man. By the way, we've got those fantasy football spots Friday, August 23rd at the Hollywood Park Casino. Keep listening all day long. And today is the day that Sedano, Cap, and producer Lindsay are back in studio after, I think, 17 weeks.
The band's back together today?
For like a week.
The team is back. We got to get your summer vacation in before the football season starts, before the new lineup launches.
Monday, September 9th. 9 to noon, this show will be heard.
On 9/9.
On
9
9/9.
hours, starting at 9.
Oof. On the 9th.
On 9/9.
See, that's good imaging. I didn't even think of that.
After the Lions and the Rams play the day before.
Sunday Night Football.
That's right. How are you going to spend your extra hour, Slee?
I'm going to get up 4 hours earlier to get that workout that you've been telling me about to get in. The ab one. Remember the ab workout that you were telling me about?
The ab roller.
I don't think I've ever spoken the word ab workout out loud until
Bowflex?
this very second. Yeah, the Tony Little ab roller, the one with the ponytail.
Wait, who was the
That
guy?
was awesome.
Who was the other workout guy that sold millions?
The P90X guy?
Was it P90X?
Tony Horton? Wasn't he P90X?
P90X, I don't know the guy's name. Tony
Yes, it
Little was the blonde ponytail ab roller guy.
I just know this.
He was this guy, too. The Strider thing.
My dad had an ab roller.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wait,
we had an ab roller.
She was Thigh Master.
Yeah.
Suzanne Summers
I mean,
was
she
Thigh
made
Master.
probably $1 billion on Thigh
Billionaire.
Master.
Yeah.
I know this. In 2010, I did P90X for 2 weeks.
Did you really?
And there were 2 days I could barely get out of bed. The Pyrometrics day, whatever it is, I couldn't walk the next day. I just think if I would have kept going 14 years ago, what would I look like now today?
So I have had moments in my life where I've been in pretty good shape. And when I've been with trainers and other things, and they all, without exception, say the only way you can get in shape by yourself is to do that.
Buy a shake weight.
No, is to do the P90X. It's the only thing that will actually work and get, like, if you follow those workouts, you will get jacked quickly.
Jacked.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to get jacked. I'm just looking not to be as fat.
The problem is, for somebody like you or me who is not a Marine, to just all of a sudden, hey, you know how you get in really good shape? Just do like 600 pull-ups a day. Well, yeah, I understand that would work, but you can't do. I can't do a single pull-up. I could not do one pull-up right now. None.
What about in school, like when we were teenagers?
I could do a couple, but I couldn't
I think my highest was
30
like 8.
in a row. That's pretty good.
No, I can't do 8.
That's pretty good. 60, 100, 500, 1,000? Just do those all day long. Sure. No chance.
Well, I mean,
why'd you quit?
Protein and
why did I quit?
Yeah.
Pull-ups. Well, I pay a therapist for those kind of conversations. But no, why did I quit? I don't know. I got lazy.
It's hard.
I have always thought in my life I could turn it around, and I have. You know me. I've been 50 pounds less than this. I can turn it around, and as you get older, you learn it's not as easy to turn it, and when there's more stress. So back then, I didn't seem as stressed by everything. Now, I'm throwing stuff all the time. I'm very stressed.
It's like turning around an aircraft carrier now, slow and steady.
Well, I also did
before as a speedboat. You could just.
Here's the thing: I had better drugs then.
Well, sure, that's because you were a speedboat. You could take other things to turn it around.
No,
now
exactly.
it's a little
you still
different.
walking or no?
When I can, it's not easy. Exactly.
I love the. You've done this before too.
Although here's the thing:
I used to walk around here,
downtown,
just walk as far as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, in December when I was here,
No,
staying
I'm
here every
with you.
night.
It's like,
because we were training DeAndre, I was walking like crazy with Lindsay, and I saw huge results. I mean, walking is, and Cappy and I were doing it more. But I will say this: last week,
Walk talk.
we connected. I connected on Apple Rings on our watches to Travis and Emily. The amount of activity. Yeah, I know. I haven't been doing.
No, I didn't get the notification that we're following each other.
Well, I get yours. I think.
Okay.
I
move.
Is he
And also, are
is
you
he
running,
moving like
Travis?
crazy?
Because you're logging them as
You
running.
log them as runs.
I do. I log them as runs, but they're walks.
But there's
Don't
out.
log them as walks.
Yeah, log them as walks.
Do you really want to know why?
I do.
Okay. So on the Nike Run Club app is the one I use to track my walking, and that's the one that gives me little reward badges.
Oh.
So I like to continue to collect those. So if I do it on the walk, it doesn't log it
I
in
was
the
almost
Nike reward.
very impressed by, he's running now.
No, I don't run.
Are you
I don't
speed
run.
walking?
No, depending on the mood.
You just walk.
I walk. Yeah.
With the little weights like in the 80s?
Yeah.
I like the idea of just a nice stroll.
No, you guys are very active.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
It says CMM, I think.
Yeah, not CM on mine. And
it's however you have it stored, I guess.
I have the cigar and the giant 32-ounce of Miller High Life.
That was during the pandemic.
I know it. That was when my son Michael said, a cigar and a beer, Dad. Isn't that a little much? He was 9.
I haven't had Miller High Life since that day.
Emily
I
has.
don't know why.
I had
Emily
4
has.
on Saturday.
Really?
I did a NASCAR Spritz, which is a Miller High Life with Aperol.
Okay.
And it's really good.
Hey, I like Miller High Life. It's the champagne of beers.
It is the champagne of beers. It absolutely says so right on the
It
bottle.
says it on the bottle.
Right there at the top. Clear bottle,
not
too.
lying.
So you can see the quality ingredients.
There you go.
You know what
They're
beer
not
I've never
hiding
had?
anything.
I've never had regular Coors.
You've never had a banquet beer?
I've never had a banquet
That's
beer. I just
impossible to
realized that
believe.
the other day.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
Wait,
had
I don't think I've had a banquet beer.
I've never had just
that
a
I
regular
believe
Coors.
that
Coors
you
Light?
haven't. No,
Yeah, all day.
Yeah,
But
really?
banquet? I don't think I've had a banquet.
You like regular Budweiser.
Bud Heavy, as we say.
Bud Heavy. Coors is that, but I like it better.
But then a Bud Heavy?
Yes, a lot better.
Easy now.
A lot better. I've had banquets at my house when you've been there.
I haven't. I'm usually drinking tequila at your house.
All right, fine.
Just
Well,
saying,
the hard
maybe,
stuff.
maybe next time I'll drink the banquet beer.
You know what they call them? Yellow Jackets too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yellow
They're a
Jackets.
good-looking bottle or can.
Well, the yellow can.
I know.
And
It
sometimes
was
they have
stocked in my fridge when I first moved to my apartment.
That's right. You did have Yellow Jackets in your fridge, and you have those stubby little barrel bottles, narrow little neck. You got to decant that one though. Foams up. You just can't get the good pull.
Thank you.
You need a wider.
By the way, golf tournament's coming. You know what that means? It's time. I might train this year.
shotgun?
I'm going to train this year.
To get half of it in your mouth, or just
I'm going to train for the
I
Coors
think
Light
you got
shotgun.
him. Yeah, I think he's got you. Greg already beat you.
Mhm.
Okay. AK took you down like it was nothing. Actually, there's only one person who
I've
beat
lost
you.
once.
That
To the
was in
guy
our
that-
Pizza Hut in Anaheim.
Holding
we did
his-
the broadcast from there for March Madness.
Oh, that's right.
Holding his 5-year-old daughter's hand while he demolished me in front of
Yeah,
him.
like, no problem.
Just destroyed my ego. It
You're a
was
smaller
mismatched.
man now. You might not have the same diaphragm activity.
Could be my I believe you call it as my throat action is how you've described
You're saying
it
the throat
previously.
action won't be as good because
My
he's a
throat
smaller
action
man.
has slowed, perhaps.
But that guy also seemed like he just it seems like he could just wake up and do that no problem.
Who is the wrestler? The Undertaker, the super huge guy. That guy that beat me looked like the Undertaker.
Well, a lot of our audience does.
Well, he did. He had the beard, he had the daughter, and he drank an entire 16-ounce IPA in 2
Like it
seconds.
was nothing.
An IPA, too.
An IPA, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a Coors Light. It was not a Bud Light. It was the real thing. Demolished.
Yeah, he was hanging out.
Demolished. You ready for Hey, Did You See? Foo? Let's do that next. It's coming up. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. All right, Rotolo Chevrolet. You know, I'll put some Yellow Jackets in the back of the Rotolo. We'll take them home. We'll put them on ice. We'll be ready to go. I can put anything in my Rotolo Chevrolet because I have the Silverado. I have the new 2024 Silverado Trail Boss, which is absolutely awesome. So if you've been thinking about a Silverado, if you've been thinking about any Chevy car or truck, really, Rotolo Chevrolet, that's the spot to go because they're going to take care of you. The model that you're looking for, they've got it. The price that you've been looking for, they've got it. And the customer service, you'll never forget. You're going to tell all your friends. You're going to call somebody, tell somebody, text somebody, say, you know that thing Travis is talking about all the time, Rotolo Chevrolet? It's actually even better than Trav described. And I've told you that they've been Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. So how can it be better than that? Go find out for yourself. Go find out what all the fun's about at Rotolo Chevrolet. Go see why Mike Capozio's dancing on TV. Go see why Eddie and the guys are just absolutely knocking it out of the park every single day. Right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit in Fontana. And if Fontana's a little far of a drive for you, go online. RotoloChevy.com. ROTOLO. RotoloChevy.com. And whether you go onto the lot, whether you go online, make sure you tell them that Travis sent you. Out of the park. That's why I trust Joe.
No insurance company is ever on your side. Anything you say to them can and will be used against you. Joe and his team will treat you like family, get you the medical attention you need, and the max compensation you deserve.
Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com.
The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And it is Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that? Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See? Did you see that?
I saw it, I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see? So, hey, did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
Not exactly a hey, did you see, but hey, how did it go? How was Maita's first day of first grade?
Oh, she said she had a lot of fun. She met two new friends.
Okay.
Most of her kindergarten classmates got spread through different classes.
Sure.
So that was a little bit of she was just
a little nervous.
Yeah, and then she made 2 new friends. She loves her teacher, she says.
There you go.
Mrs. Vega says she's a lot of fun. So she's excited. So if she's happy, then it makes us feel a little more comfortable.
Start.
That's great news.
It's
That
not
is
Mrs. Wiener like Ramona's kid.
That's
so great.
It's a whiner, no?
I like that Ramona was
I
the
know.
one that's like, I had to stifle laughing in her face.
And she keeps saying, yeah, and she's like, I can't tell the other kids because then they're going to do it.
They'll get it. They're fine. This is what they do. That's great news. I'm happy to hear that.
No, thank you for asking. So speaking of Maite, her birthday's coming up on the 19th. So, driving her this morning, it got me thinking, man, like seriously, like listen to this question. This is interesting, I think so. It takes us 9 months to come to life, right? Why do we celebrate it every 12 months? Does that make sense? Like, see, that's one of those questions you can't answer.
Well, I mean, you're not celebrating the time from conception to birth. You're celebrating birth to a trip around the sun.
Because if we do it every 9 months, we're going to be 3 months off, and then 6 months off, and then 9 months off until we finally get it back.
It's just one of those things that,
They consider the first birthday to be after, like, not the first day that they were born, but the 365 days.
Yeah, you've completed year 1.
Exactly. So
Yes.
you're saying, I'm turning 1, but it's like your first birthday, but it's like, actually, it's your second birthday.
It's your second birthday, but your first completed trip around the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Birthdays, like when you actually stop and think about it, it's kind of a weird concept, but you get stuff, so that's kind of fun.
That's
As
what
you get older,
They call it a name day in Game of Thrones. Your second name
there you
day.
go.
It's like whenever you were named, is that
Oh,
your
okay.
birthday?
You get to go have some wine or some beer or whatever you're into, and somebody might bake you a cake. It's a pretty good day.
Yeah, that's what LA traffic does to you people when you're bumper to bumper.
That's
you
what you're
start
sitting there
thinking.
thinking about. I like that.
I was watching the news last night, and I'm officially old. I've started
For our
watching.
video?
No, but I did see that. I want to talk about that. I have started watching the local news again, which is the oldest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. Do you watch it too?
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, here's 30 things that went wrong
Hey, of
before we're even 7 minutes into the news broadcast.
Of course, but the lead story was, okay, Paris is over. We're coming to L.A. What's L.A. known for? Gridlock. Awesome. Here we go. It was unbelievable. Anyway, sorry, Jorge.
All right, fool. So did you see this? Tennessee Titans QB Will Levis, right?
Yep.
See, that confuses me. Me speaking Espanol. So,
You want to go to Levis?
no, Levi's. Isn't that what the brand is?
Yeah, but there's no apostrophe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his last name is Levis instead of Levi's multiple.
I usually buy the bootleg Levi's. They're called Elvis.
Is it at Air Juan?
Exactly.
Erewhon.
Yeah, you get them. You have to dig for them at Air Juan.
It's by the bathroom.
Exactly, for the Elvis jeans. No, but he's releasing, I guess he's pairing up with Hellman's. And they're releasing a perfume de mayonnaise. Now, I read it in Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's mayo with a hint of coffee. So, Parker, since we only have room for our graphic, I'm going to keep it at two fragrances. Do you wear any fragrance, Travis? And what would you recommend?
I do wear one fragrance. It's called Dial Soap. Two, I guess. I do wear two. You're right. I have the white bar of Dial Soap that I use from head to toe. And then I have my Old Spice, which whatever Susan fills the drawer with. So sometimes it's Swagger, sometimes it's Aqua, other times it's other things that I don't remember.
What
the
happened
names
to the
of.
Lever 2000?
The Lever 2000 is harder to find, right? And here,
there's a Lever 2000 shortage.
Lever 2000 disintegrates too quickly. Like the Dial is that bar will last a couple of weeks. Lever 2000's gone in like 3 days. It's got to go through it too quickly. I don't know what it is.
What about you, Slee? Any fragrance? Any cologne?
Do you notice that I wear cologne or no?
I never have, no.
Okay, so that shows you how I have a spray of cologne every morning.
Do you really?
Spray of cologne, but it's very light. It's very
And only one spray?
It's only one spray.
Yeah, that's why you don't smell it.
So I
never once, Al.
Okay, so here now, if you were close, if we were right here, maybe you'd smell a little bit on my neck, something along those lines.
And it's honestly better to not really notice it, but
No,
have
no,
it
no.
just be
That
that you
that's
smell fresh.
I think
Yeah.
that's part of the reason is I like that not everybody's going to notice it. I like that it's not overtaking a room. Listen, God bless, and this comes from the Middle Eastern world. I mean, some of these guys, I'm like, did you put a full bottle on you? Like, I don't know how much cologne you just put on, but you're going to the grocery store. You don't have to do that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And you're married with 3 kids. Like, you're fine. But I put very little cologne on.
Emily, how about you for the ladies? Any perfume?
I have 2. Depends on the day. And one is Marc Jacobs Daisy, which I've been wearing since I was in high school. And that's like just everyday, like light, fruity, like simple. And it lasts me. I'll get like one of the smaller bottles. It'll last me literally like 2 years. Like it's expensive, quote unquote, but it lasts me like 2 years. And then I have a knockoff of Le Labo Santal 33 from Dossier. So
That sounds fancy.
So Le Labo, yes, it's very expensive if I got it in the regular time, but I get it from Dossier, which is like they basically do like knockoff perfumes.
Bootleg perfume.
And it smells exactly like it, and it's $30 instead of X amount. So
Sounds
I get
like a
that.
good deal.
It's like woody sandalwood, and I wear that.
Ooh, I like sandalwood. That's good.
That's my other one.
I remember when Macy's was the thing on the Christmas time.
Bro,
you know,
big time. They had the gift. The
yeah.
By the way,
boxes.
I guarantee you they still have them all.
And they would spray that thing and or
Yeah,
the little paper
card.
they give it to you. Yeah,
I
see,
think
I used to be cheap.
I told Trav this story one time. I probably told the story to you guys too. My cousin Slee. So one time where it's like literally exactly like you could think of. Probably both 16 years old at the mall. We're at Macy's and we're in the cologne / fragrance area, whatever you want to call it, perfume. And he's got his back turned to me, and the whole time I'm spraying perfume on his back. just spraying perfume on his back. He doesn't even realize
Ladies
it or notice
men's?
it. Women's, yeah. So definitely
Okay.
perfume women's, right?
Yeah.
And just spraying. And then he like finally turns around and he's like, "Why is my back wet?"
Oh, is that much you got wet?
Yeah. No, I just kept spraying. I kept going. Just kept going. It was wet because I put perfume. That's what 16-year-olds do.
That's funny.
See, I have 4
I'd
different
probably
ones.
do that if I was with him.
I have
tomorrow.
4 different. I get them as gifts. I can't smell them for
Did
whatever
your
reason.
dad wear cologne, Al?
Yeah, it's Middle Eastern.
Pretty
colognes
standard?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Did your dad wear it, Jorge?
Only when they went out.
Yeah.
Only when it was like a night out and they would do their thing. It's only then.
Good. You don't
Parties.
have any brothers, so it's a little bit different for you. But my dad never, and I never.
think that's the theory? The
I
theory
do.
is
My
because
theory
he
is
does
if
it?
you're around it and your dad does it, you know, when you're a little kid, you want to be like your dad. So you do the things that he does. If your dad wore a lot of jewelry, you probably wear jewelry. If your dad didn't, you probably don't. I think that's my theory on
So my mom
dads
didn't
and
really wear
fragrance.
perfume, but like again, still, if I had unlimited money and I would spend a lot of money, I would spend a lot of money on perfumes. I
would.
love expensive perfume, and that's my thing. I have to keep myself from buying it. I want to. The Marc Jacobs Daisy is my only like real treat because again, it's like this big of a thing for like $120.
Give
or
me
whatever.
the name of one that you would love to have that's just like, I can't, it's just too expensive.
I mean, Le Labo Central 33. If I had the option,
Le Labos?
It's Le Labo Central 33.
Le Labo Central 33. That
Would be
sounds
great.
French.
What's the price on that, roughly?
It's
at Air One.
It's expensive. I'm looking it up. But
You know who wears cologne? Chris. We should ask him what kind of cologne he wears. You know?
Yeah, Chris does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
wear
it's
it.
like $235 for this much.
Oh, yeah, one of those little teeny
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
So again, would love.
Do that or pay,
Cannot justify.
pay for your car that month.
So
One or
what's
the
your-
other.
Yeah.
So what's your
There's
take?
a Dior Sauvage. That's only $8,200.
Yeah, I have one that's a Euphoria or whatever it's called from, I think, Calvin Klein. I don't know who makes these. I have like 4 or 5 of these that I haven't even opened. But what do you guys think of that mayo and a hint of coffee? What's your take on mayo?
I like if you put mayonnaise on my sandwich, fine. If you make a salad dressing out of mayonnaise, fine. Like I'm 100% okay eating mayonnaise, but the substance of mayonnaise is gross. Like the when you stick the knife in the jar to pull it out to spread it on the bread for your sandwich, that little noise that it's just awful. It's the consistency is off-putting. I don't dislike how it tastes. I will eat it, but mayonnaise is real gross to look at and smell.
We never really grew up with mayonnaise. So I never had mayonnaise, but I'm okay with mayonnaise. It's just gotta be very light on that sandwich. Just a little bit on the bread is all I need.
Yeah.
Too much of it, I can't do.
I came from a semi-Midwestern on my mom's side. So Pittsburgh is like very close to Midwestern, has a lot of Midwestern similarities, and so grew up with my mom's side. If she's cooking or she's cooking my grandma's recipe, lots of mayo put into there. And then there's a great debate between mayo and Miracle Whip, which is better for whatever recipe you have to use. So there's that. But I had the same feeling that you have about mayo about yogurt.
Yeah.
I'm very much like, ugh, about yogurt.
Yeah.
But I'll have to sometimes eat it just because it's good for you.
Yeah, see, at home we buy Hellman's or Best Foods, whatever it's called.
Same
And-
thing.
Yeah.
It's just Eastern. In the
It's
East,
like Carl's
it's
Jr.
Hellman,
and
in
Hardee's.
the West, yes,
It's
same
Hardee's and
thing.
Carl's Jr. And I grew up with McCormick, the one with the little lime on there.
Is that Mexican mayonnaise?
It's McCormick brand.
It's an Irish name.
So
Yeah.
sure,
Dukes.
that's the one we use.
Dukes.
Dukes. I didn't even know
That's
there
like
was
that's a
another
North
mayo.
Carolina one.
There's a bowl game
Yeah,
after
so Duke's
Dukes
Mayo Bowl, which is in North Carolina. So Dukes is big on in the North.
Put it
in the
all over my
Carolinas.
sandwich. Just leave it where I can't see it.
So I got a quick one after this one. So we're talking, we talk food, and Chipotle is, they're bringing to the market something called lip potle. So that's like lip balm or like lip gloss for women. So hey, they're making.
Does it taste like carne asada?
No, it's like, I guess it's like guacamole or whatever, but it's called lip potle.
Feels like
Don't
a
do
stunt.
that, guys.
Dog.
No, it's
It's
gross.
Come on, man.
I don't think you're
it's
ever
getting
gonna
out
be
of
able to
hand.
buy that.
No, I know, but it's just you come across a story like this one, and then 3 others follow, and I just thought,
What's
lip
that
potle.
cologne? Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo does smell pretty good. It's nice and fresh. Lime, cilantro.
Yeah, but I want to
ceviche.
eat when I see it. I don't want to.
My car, hey, air freshener.
But lip gloss
His
is
car
a very
still has
popular thing right now. It's like a very big,
Yeah, so-
trendy thing. Like girls of like Gen Z era love lip gloss.
Chipotle. There you go.
Chipotle. my son Michael will probably do it. He eats at Chipotle, I think, 4 times a day.
Oh, that's Randy did the same thing.
Does he really?
Yeah, hit that or Chick-fil-A.
Michael is keeping the local Dana Point Chipotle in business.
In business?
Oh, my gosh. It's like, dude, can you... went to Chippy. What? Why? Stop doing that.
I like that they... Chipotle is too long, so it's Chippy.
It's Chippy. Went to
Oh,
Chippy.
Stop, man.
Yeah.
My dad calls it Chipotle.
I'll take that one over Chippy.
Chippy. Chippy. Okay, we've talked about SC going to the Big Ten. We've talked about SC and what Lincoln Riley has been trying maybe not to do. I'm going to make the case that they might actually be very good. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Now is a great time to visit the Commerce Casino and Hotel, located 7 miles south of downtown LA, just off the 5 freeway. Come experience some of the best action that SoCal has to offer. There's always a seat at the table at LA's Commerce Casino, with the widest variety of poker and table games around, from easy baccarat, hold'em, 21st century blackjack, and many more. Commerce Casino is where the game reigns. Must be 21. Play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgambling.ca.gov.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Perennial Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Perennial Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And for the record, their win-loss record puts them in the top of the standings. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
All right, 11 o'clock on a live imagery Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show. James and Bobby Purify. I'm your puppet. I believe the dedications are popping off for this one today.
Yeah.
All right.
Crypto Ray wants to dedicate this to Paris.
His wife.
Big E just wanted me to play it, and 805 Raider also just wanted to hear this.
When you're cruising in Boyle Heights, you're going to hear this playing out of some cars. Also, I would say that, like, content is producer Emily's puppet. You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
You get what I'm saying? The way she maneuvers content on this show is very impressive.
Yeah, she's good at it.
Very good.
I know.
I don't know what that
I'm
even
aware.
means.
I don't know either. I was just connecting.
Yeah, I'm very aware that she's good at content.
You know what I'm saying?
What kind of cologne do you wear?
What? Mont Blanc. Actually, I don't think I put any on today, but I have the bottle in my office.
Are you every day, more often than not?
And do you have an office bottle and a home bottle?
No, I used to, but inflation, price is going up.
Price going up.
Carry it with you wherever you go.
Sometimes I just have it in my bag.
How many sprays?
Come on now.
4.
Remember when we did that bit about could you smell my cologne and you got real close?
Yeah, and I couldn't until I got really close.
Was it worth it?
The woman in my life is a big fan of the... I mean, I've been wearing Mont Blanc for a few years. I like things that are different. So when like you go to Sephora and they have like the top 10, or they used to, the top 10 colognes, I don't want something on that list. I don't want
14.
Yeah, I don't want to smell like somebody else. So I have always been... There was a time I wore Polo Black.
Okay.
And then my father still... And I don't think I'm old
Black.
enough yet. The classic Polo.
Oh, the green bottle?
The green classic, like you're wearing a gold watch. Like I don't think I'm old enough to rock an actual a yellow gold watch and Polo classic.
It's a very specific time in your life that you're doing those things.
And I can't wait
sure.
for that time.
I thought when you were saying you and your dad, I thought you were going to go like English leather or aqua velva.
He's
or
never
like
been that
really,
guy.
really old school.
But no, I love that smell of Polo Classic, the green bottle. I'm just not there yet. But I wear Mont Blanc, the white bottle, which is like the lighter, like, hey, we're not playing, we're not playing whatever. We're playing the other thing. You know, like those cologne ads? What are those sports?
Squash?
Yeah, we're not playing squash. Maybe we're getting out there and playing
handball?
Yeah, maybe we're playing handball. Maybe it's
that would be a good commercial, by the way. The squash guys have a very different fragrance. The handball guys are a little more rustic, a
Right.
little more manly, a
Right.
little bit more hands-on, shall
Exactly.
we say. Yeah.
I'm looking at some
All
of
right.
the classic ones. Remember the Giorgio Armani?
Oh, I think that's still huge.
Classic.
What's the one Kirk said? Brute. Yeah.
Brute
Yeah.
33.
Brute's classic, too.
Yeah, Brute was in that long, skinny green with the long neck.
I think you can still get that at any CVS or Walgreens.
Oh,
if you-
100%.
Yeah.
Calvin
100%.
Klein. Calvin Klein. Classic.
Aquavelva.
Yeah.
Do you remember who the spokesman for Aquavelva was?
No.
Pete Rose.
Oh, there you
Pete
go.
Rose was
Really?
an Aquavelva man.
so this
How did
is
that not make the doc?
The girl would come up and she'd put a little in her hands and she'd come up to you and go, "That's what an Aquavelva man is."
So speaking of which,
that was the commercial.
a great story from our radio station in Chicago. Danny Zetterman, the content director there, because he knew we were talking about how we were talking about Pete Rose a few weeks ago all day long, right? So Tom Waddle, of course, Bear legend, does the afternoon show there with Sylvie. Waddle and Sylvie.
Sure.
He had a great Pete Rose story. They were talking about the documentary too.
Yeah.
And apparently Pete came and did an interview with them in person many years ago. The minute he walked in, 100 yards away, you could smell the cologne. And Waddle wasn't doing a bit. He was truly saying, like, you smell great. I love that smell. And everyone's looking at Waddle like, dude, there's so much cologne. He kept saying it to Pete like as a compliment to try to create that bond.
Yeah.
Next day, Pete Rose sent him a bottle of the cologne and like a nice handwritten note.
That's great.
So that's a good
That's
Pete
the
Rose
first
story.
nice thing I've
Right.
ever heard Pete Rose do for another person.
Now, granted, he did it to another athlete and a Bears legend, Tom Waddle, but still.
Do you have contact with Tom Waddle?
I actually said to Danny we should get him on.
Okay, so if we can get him on, that would be great. But in the event that doesn't happen, I need to know from Tom Waddle through you, Chris Morales, whether or not it was Aquavelva, because there's at least a chance it was.
Okay, we're
And
going to send this clip
I would very much like to know that.
to our friends at.
Smell like a man. There's something about.
That's only in the right channel, though, so that might not be heard on the transmitter. You know, the new we're a week away from the technical upgrades here.
Oh, is that a week
away?
Yeah, which I keep warning people. We could be off the air for a few days, and people are like, "What?" It's like, well, you know, these things.
Like, what are the chances? Like, the chances of the Dodgers not making the playoffs, or the chances of the Dodgers not making the World Series?
Off the air, like we can't do our shows.
Yeah,
Not making the
not
World
making the
Series.
playoffs.
okay.
Not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that means very low.
Very low.
1%.
You're flipping it that way. Yep.
the chances that we're on the air but not having access to all of our commercials and different things. And by the way, that's how Live Imaging Tuesday started. Remember when we switched from Disney to Good Karma? We couldn't play anything. So we were just, I think it was you or maybe Mace that said, just get in there and do a live. I was like, all right. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
What about High Karate? Remember that one?
Shouts out.
Jakar Noir. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah. That was an Anchorman, right?
Stetson?
Jakar? Stetson, yeah.
Was Jakar Noir an Anchorman or was it Talladega Nights? Wasn't
Was
that
in
one
of them.
What was that a sponsor on one? No, I don't think it was.
Don't
one of the
remember.
sponsor.
I don't remember it in either of them, but it could be in both. I don't know. I want to know what Pete Rose was wearing in that studio. This is going to be a preoccupation of mine for the next several days. Pete still soaking in Aquavelva feels so possible.
You think he still is?
I think. Well, if he was, how long ago was the
I don't
interview?
know. I don't
okay,
know.
maybe.
You don't think he's upgraded his scent?
No, I think you stay with the same.
Yeah, look,
Older you
that's
get,
one of
you
those
just
things.
stay
Once
with-
you kind of are down that road,
You found something you like,
kind
you're
of stick
done.
with it. I'm trying. There's an oh my gosh, there's a cocktail called an Aquavelva. Now I'm fascinated. Cocktail made with vodka, gin, lemon lime, and blue curacao.
You ever have a godmother?
No, what's that?
Jim Beam and DeSerrano.
Okay,
It's a quality item.
yeah, that
A lot of
doesn't sound-
sugar, but it goes down smooth.
Doesn't sound. De Serrano is a very specific taste. That's the amaretto, right?
Yeah, that's an amaretto.
Yeah.
I'm a big DJ Steve guy. So
You are.
DeSerrano
You strike me as a
or
DJ Steve type of man.
Sambuca. I love some Sambuca. That's how you end.
Sambuca's really good.
That's how you end a carb-filled meal. That's why it's served a lot at Italian restaurants.
Aquavelva is still available in ice blue, musk, and ice sport fragrances.
So, yeah, I think you should wear the
Multiples
musk.
How much is it?
Aquavelvas.
$10?
Let's see. Aquavelva cost.
$6 to $10.
Oh, they got their own. They got an Aquavelva website. This is
Oh,
exciting.
beautiful, man. Come on now. We're not messing around here. This is a legendary fragrance. When you think America, you think Budweiser apple pie hot dogs and Aquavelva.
Can't find a price there.
I'm working on it.
Well, when
I'm
something's
working on
great,
it.
what is the cost?
Cost doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's priceless.
Oh, this. Whoa. Aqua Velva cannot be found within a 40-mile radius to my current zip code. We're going to accept cookies here. Let's buy online. Let's see what that comes into. Now I have to do the how many stop signs are in this picture thing. This is getting
so annoyed.
I just want Aqua Velva.
I'm going to go to Instacart.
Why is this
How many bikes
I'm gonna go to
are
Instacart.
in this photo?
Let's go to Instacart and see if we can get delivered here.
What was the commercial? How many licks to get to the center of Tootsie Pop?
Yeah.
It's just
two licks.
And what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Okay, you can get Aqua Velva delivered on Prime, Amazon Prime, for $6.
Yeah, there you go.
The
That's how you know it's a
Aqua Velva
quality.
classic ice blue soothes, cools, and refreshes.
Oh, there you go. See, that's not the bottle I remember. The bottle I remember was
Bottle
like
looks updated.
more like a Windex
You
sort of situation.
do images, and it will bring up the old school bottle. That's not the bottle.
You buy it like windshield wiper fluid. You buy it in like a drum. It's got a handle. It comes with a funnel that you run down your back along the way. All right. You ready for the case?
What's
Chris,
the case?
You ready for the case? That SC could be better than I think a lot of us are expecting.
You mean the 23rd ranked school in the country?
That's right.
Give me definition of better.
That they're going to be interesting late into the season. That we'll be talking about them late into the season as something other than, hey, they got to find this, that, or the other, or whether Lincoln and Riley or not is up for the job. We're talking about
They're
them.
hunting for a playoff
They're
spot.
in
one
the
of the
mix
top
for
12.
a Big Ten title. They're hunting for a playoff spot, something like that.
All right, let's hear it.
Here's the case. They're ranked 23rd in the country in both polls, despite the fact that they have no clear-cut answer at quarterback. That means the rest of the team must be pretty good if you don't have any sort of quarterback prospects and you're still ranked inside the top 25. The new conference could work to their advantage in that the teams that they're going to be playing in large part are unfamiliar with them. I understand that could cut both ways, but a new look with new opponents. It's not like Arizona knows what you're going to do. Cal, Stanford, they know what you're going to do. That's it. Alex Grinch is gone. Danton Lynn is in. That is a massive upgrade on the defensive side of the ball. Here's the biggest reason why. While the Big Ten is a much better league than the Pac-12 was, SC's schedule in year one of the Big Ten is actually pretty favorable. They only play 4 ranked teams, preseason ranked. That obviously will change. But right now they play 4 ranked teams, 2 of them at home, 1 at a neutral site. They only have 1 true road game against a ranked team. They have LSU in Vegas, neutral. They've got Penn State and Notre Dame at home at the Coliseum, and they go to Michigan.
Michigan's the big one of all.
They don't play Ohio State. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Washington. They don't play these teams that potentially could give them a hard time. About as easy a path as you can hope for in the Big Ten is what they're going to get this year. Get off to a good start, get a little momentum.
A quick second. They're at Washington.
Okay. Washington's unranked.
Yes.
Washington's unranked.
Yeah, they do have that game.
They do
Michael
play.
Penix.
Mm-hmm.
No Michael Penix, new coach, Jed Fish. But in the think about it. You could get Ohio State. You could get all these teams.
Oregon's top 3, top whatever they are.
They're both top 3, right? You're talking about two teams that would be very unlikely that you're going to beat them. This is about the best draw you can hope for in this league. All of those things together, get off to a good start, get a little momentum, and all of a sudden, I think we're talking about this very differently. Whereas if no quarterback, the defense was still the same, you had those extra games inside the conference, you'd been in there for a few years and gotten smacked around. That's one of those things that I think we're going to have a much better feel for a couple of years from now, how they stack up. If they're going to sneak up's the wrong word, but if they're going to have a little bit of a strategic advantage, it's going to be in this first year.
I think
that's the case for it.
I think sneak up's okay because I think.
Can you sneak up if you're SC? You can sneak up if you're Oregon State.
I'll tell you why you can sneak up if you're SC. You could sneak up because nobody's really talking that much about you, and when they are talking about
Certainly
you,
not optimistically.
I was going to say when they are talking about you, they're not making this case of watch out for SC. I think the other piece of it too, and I think something to keep in mind here. Lincoln Riley's coming off of. It's a bad season for USC. Any way that you can look at it. The fact that they are a little bit under the radar, the fact that they're not coming into the season with these expectations that you're top 10. I get that the brand says USC, but they're not looking at USC the way they would if they were a top 10 program. If they were coming off, hey, they just won the Pac-12 and they did this and they did that. So there could be a little bit of that. Now, I think, and I know you've said this a couple different times, this is not how SC fans look at SC. You can look at a team one way, you could look at an organization or a franchise or a university one way, but then there's the reality of it. This LSU game, I feel like, has such implications for USC. I know it's just game one. I know it's an SEC school, but doesn't it feel like if they lost 27-24 against LSU, it's not a bad start to your season? People can sit and say, what are you talking about? This is SC, this is this. I don't really care about that. If they beat LSU, it's a complete surprise. But even if it's a game against LSU, and you could kind of start selling yourself on, we can hang with this SEC school, let's see what we do with everybody else, I think that'd be interesting too.
I don't think it's a huge surprise if they beat LSU. It's going to come down to the run game against LSU. LSU's got a soft defensive line. Here's the thing. USC didn't run the ball last year that much, and when they did, it was great because they had Caleb Williams who was running the ball.
They may have to this year.
Not only the only way they're going to win games is to run the ball. And then if you have a great quarterback performance, that's great. You got to run the ball. The O-line can be very good if they want to be. It's all going to come down to that with USC this year.
I also think I want to go back to your point about the schedule. The schedule looking like they're not going to face the biggest of the boys. You're going to have Michigan, and you're going to have Penn State, and you're going to have big boys like that, but you're not going to have the same amount because it goes back to the first year of Lincoln Riley at USC. They didn't play Oregon or Washington. They played Utah twice. And they ran through the conference. We're like, oh, my gosh, look at
Utah
USC.
beat
They're
them
so
twice.
good.
Twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you're like, USC is so good. They're in the Pac-12 championship game. And then the next year they get smacked in the face by reality of playing the big boys. So if they don't do well this year, that's a huge red flag as well.
Unfortunately, those games they are playing, they could get their doors blown off. Michigan, especially, obviously.
Michigan is the real. So here's the thing: Michigan.
But that's more expected. The LSU game. LSU game is the game where I feel like a lot of eyes on how you start the season.
Absolutely,
because you already got all these question marks to begin with.
Keep in mind, Michigan is going to be the toughest game on their schedule. I'm not arguing that it isn't. But Michigan has a new coach.
Sure. No, you're right about that.
Their quarterback is gone. Yep. Blake Corum is gone. Their two best offensive players are gone.
Starting over.
Jim Harbaugh is a nutcase, but he's a great football coach. He's gone. LSU, too. Here's the other part. LSU is good, not great. LSU preseason 13 in one poll, 12 in the other.
Right.
It's not like they're a top 5 team.
And they lost their Heisman-winning quarterback.
They lost their Heisman-winning quarterback. There are opportunities here. Now, they have to be good. They're not going to stumble through these games and win it, but this is not a gauntlet like it could be. A gauntlet is what's going on at Oregon. A gauntlet is what's going on at Ohio State, where they've got their guys. The coach is still the same guy. They're running the same stuff. They've got first, 5-star recruiting classes. If it's going to be an opportunity, it's this one. And I love what Em said about 2 years ago when you go back and look at it, they didn't play the two teams that were, had the two best quarterbacks.
That's when they had success.
Yeah. And against everybody except for the one good team in the league that beat them twice.
And don't forget, USC is back here on 710 ESPN. You'll hear every USC football game, along with men's basketball, women's basketball, right here on the all-new ESPN LA app, which is still under construction. Don't worry. I know a lot of people are having technical. We're working on it. It's the beta test of the ESPN LA app 2.0. And, of course, you'll hear it here on 710 ESPN, your home of the USC Trojans.
Al, you said you saw a quote about LeBron that you wanted to talk about how that somebody is suggesting that somehow the Lakers have wasted LeBron James.
Wasting
Olympics,
LeBron.
man, the Olympics.
You're going to have to explain it to me because that sounds stupid. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Hey, is your vehicle ready? Right? You got that sticker in your window. Look at it. Are you over the miles? Or are you over the date? If your vehicle's ready for service, head on into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Because for 30 years, Valvoline has been hooking us up. Quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people like us, which means you don't get out of your car at Valvoline. At Valvoline, you stay in the car nice and safe, nice and relaxed. You can chill out. You can just kind of check out for a few minutes if you want. Send a text, listen to some music while the expert technicians make sure that your ride is running at its best. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, wipers, and more. Just pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. Over 80 locations ready to help you get your ride ready for the road in no time at all. To find one of those 80 locations, go to SoCalOilChange.com and grab yourself some game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
And coming up around 11:30 this morning, it is time for Factor Cap with producer Emily, presented by our new partner here on the Travis and Sliwa Show, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
If you've been in an accident, me and my team are dedicated dedicated to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Plus, no fees until you get paid.
That's right, homeboy. Factor Cap coming up in minutes on the Travis and Sliwa Show on 710 ESPN.
Get ready for the greatest show on earth. The all-new Ringling. Action-packed fun for the whole family. High-flying acrobats. Somersaulting daredevils. Gravity-defying performers wherever you look. And fun-filled laughter that never stops. Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey. Now playing the LA area. Family-friendly pricing still available. Visit ringling.com for show details and get your tickets today.
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have
it's
to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. So you ask, how do hands-free Skechers Slip-ins work? Well, it's like they have this invisible built-in shoehorn so your foot slides into place. Then our heel pillow keeps your foot comfy and secure. And slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids, in all your favorite Skechers styles. From sneakers to casual shoes and even sandals. Yes, even sandals. So raise your hands in the air and put your shoes on like you just don't care. Because you just went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other.
Live Imaging Tuesday on the Travis and Sliwa Show on 710. Jason Torres, great P1 listener. This request and dedication, this magic moment by the Drifters, and he'd like to dedicate it to his Ruka, Lala, and his little carnalito, Izzy. Look at that. That's what we do on Tuesdays on this show. We bring out those old KRLA oldies, the East LA sound, the Art Walbo sound, and we play them. Why not?
Good music.
Or like from The Sandlot.
That's right.
Or from The Sandlot.
Yeah, this is when he kisses...
Squints kisses Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you want to, maybe play some of those brown-eyed oldies in your lowrider on Friday, August 23rd, as you cruise in Inglewood to the Hollywood Park Casino, it's going to be our ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party at HPC. And like I said earlier, last hour, in past what we've done is we've given one winner the chance to take your whole team, or 7 of your friends or 8 of your friends, whatever it is, and have your own team. And a lot of people, I can't think of 8 people anymore that I could get to one place.
It'd be hard.
Especially on a Friday night in Inglewood. I got a lot of friends. I don't think I could put that together. So this year, what we're going to do is we're going to give spots away. And we're going to create teams. And you're going to make new friends. New hermanos.
Carnales.
Exactly, carnales. So caller number 7 and number 10 at 877-710-ESPN. Right now, you're going to talk to producer Emily, and you're going to win a spot Friday, August 23rd at HPC. And you're going to meet new friends. You're going to be part of a new fantasy football team. What we're going to do, it's like making meatballs, right? You take your meat, you take your parsley, you take your breadcrumbs. Maybe you put a little pecorino in there. It's up to you. You put an egg. Bam! You mix it all together and you create...
Not too tight.
Not too tight, no. And you create new little balls. New teams is what we're doing. New friends. Maybe you beat your new best friend. Maybe you meet your wife.
Hey.
Or your husband.
Hey.
Who knows?
Caller 7 and 10 right now. 877-710 ESPN.
You know what happens when you over
you don't want it too tight.
You make
What
the
happens?
meat too tight. You get dry, Slee. You want a moist meatball.
And I'm somebody, I want to cook it right in the gravy. Sometimes a lot of old school Italians, they'll fry it because here's the thing.
You can put them in the oven.
Or the oven, it's going to dry out your ball. You want your ball to cook in that sauce.
Sure.
And if it's too tight, the sauce won't get through in the meat.
Yeah.
That's how I cook them.
And nobody has, a ball. It's balls, right?
Well, yeah. What size are you doing? About golf ball size? A little bit bigger than that, maybe?
Usually. My uncle does a little bit larger. And his are amazing meatballs.
Doesn't over mix them.
No, but he's not as exotic as like me. Like I'm a big, more Sicilian stuff, more south. He's a little bit more northern.
Okay.
But so I will maybe mix them with pork.
Sure. A little veal.
Sometimes veal.
If that doesn't get you out to the fantasy football party, I don't know what will.
Making meatballs over there.
I don't know what will get you out there.
Put them in a cookie, not a cookie sheet, but a muffin tin.
Yeah.
You put them in there and put them in the oven, and you cook them like 60, 70% of the way, and then in the sauce.
No, it's way too much. It's too dry.
Not really.
You want
Not really.
I'm going to let you taste my meatballs.
I'm sure that you make a fine meatball. I would like to taste your balls.
Should we have them?
But I think that
I didn't even script that one.
Trev.
What?
You say meatballs.
It's fine. And I think that it would be moist.
Should we have a meatball off?
Yeah, we should. We should bring in meatballs.
Or we just do it at your house
next Tuesday.
No, I don't have time in August to cook meatballs.
Why not?
Because there's a lot going on.
This is the perfect time to cook meatballs. Who doesn't
I
want
don't
a
think
big
you're going to have any more
steaming
time
plate
come
of
September.
meatballs?
Yeah,
I was going to say exactly, Al.
Yeah, but I feel like meatballs are good for the fall and the winter. Here's a
When's
summertime
the
meatball.
When's the last time you go to
We're
Italian
cooking
deli or
meatballs.
something like that? Why do I not? And every time, I tell myself after, I don't order the meatball sandwich enough.
Oh, it's a great
Do
item.
you order? Is that a go-to?
Kinda, yeah.
There's a great place in Pasadena that I went to maybe, 6-8 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
It was one of the first times in a while where I'm like, I just want the meatball sandwich.
There are three. Well, there's more than three, obviously, but there are three kind of staples that you can go to, and they're almost never bad, and they're frequently great. A meatball sandwich is never bad and occasionally transcendent. Sweet and hot peppers sandwich.
Like a sausage and peppers.
Yes. Yep. The two of them together.
Oh my God.
Is next level. You do a meatball and sausage sandwich together. Forget it.
That's not a gun. That's a hero sandwich.
That's so
Remember in the movie
good.
Casino?
So good.
He's got a hero sandwich.
A grinder?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Porta Via, that's the place I went to.
Yeah.
Cavaretta's in Woodland Hills. One of the best meatball subs you'll ever have. And they have a little place in the back that you can eat it there. Oh, many afternoons back in the Fox Sports Radio days. Back when you could get to Woodland Hills from Sherman Oaks in 20 minutes.
Right. You got to toast the bread while the cheese is melting and all that, but you can't dry it out because then it falls apart and it soaks up too much of the sauce. You need it still soft in the middle but crunchy in the outside. Yeah. Cheese both inside the bread and on top.
Yeah.
Yes.
You like sausage and pepper, Slee?
Oh, yeah.
No.
In a sandwich?
Or just regular.
Yeah.
But
No,
in
in
a
a
sandwich.
sandwich. In a sandwich.
A hero
But I
sandwich.
sometimes like it better if the it's chopped up a little bit more, because sometimes if you bite and you pull and
I agree.
pull something out, then it's not as good. So if you chop it up real nice,
Yeah. Cut
it's
it into
best.
bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually chop it up, not it's just like rings.
Not just a regular sausage.
Yeah. Unless you,
100%.
Unless you have like fajitas or whatever, and that's nice for that, but for like the long ones, yeah.
Interesting. What else you got, Slee?
We'll have to get to Braun later.
No, let's get to it right now, quickly.
Look how good that
I mean,
was.
he revolutionized the world. He
sandwich
played
here.
well at the Olympics. Well, Hall of Famers on the same
Great
team.
at the Olympics.
There's an article in USA Today, and it's talking about LeBron gets the MVP for the Olympics. So of all these players that are representing their country, plus all the unbelievable players playing for the United States of America, he's the most valuable player. And I don't think – I mean, the only argument I think you can make is what Steph Curry was doing as well, but Steph Curry was more the last couple of games. So the article basically says – it's the title of it, Shame on the Lakers for Wasting His Brilliance. Do you feel like the Lakers have wasted or are in the process of wasting LeBron? Like you just said it, he's incredible. What he's doing. You don't even have to look at just the Olympic run. Go look at what he's still doing in an 82-game season. Are the Lakers wasting his brilliance?
No. Simply, no. They're not very good, but they're not wasting his brilliance. What they're doing is they're doing what LeBron has asked them to do for the most part. The wasting his brilliance would be them refusing to do the things that he wanted, and their decisions were unilaterally detrimental to the team. The decisions have been detrimental to the team to a point because they're trying to accommodate LeBron. Now, if the argument is they should strike out on their own and do what they think is best for the team, and if LeBron doesn't like it, tough, you know what, then okay. But no, they're in a relationship where they both get exactly what they want from the other half.
I was just going to say, isn't it just become a business mutual relationship? LeBron, what are you looking for?
I don't know how you guys can say this. He had nothing to do with the coach search. He made that clear.
Well, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. LeBron,
I forgot about
LeBron,
that.
who do you want? You want JJ Redick? Okay, cool. We'll grab him. You want Bronny at 55? Cool. We'll take care of that too. Anything else that we could accommodate? But there also is this, I think this, not fork in the road, but there's this understanding of Bron's going to sell out every game. Bron's going to sell out. The jerseys are going to be there. The national attention is going to be there.
He still makes them incredibly relevant by his mere presence.
The point where they do stop is, okay, we got these draft picks. Kind of already did this before with the Russ thing. We're going to have to make sure that this is the right decision. But for the most part, aren't they both just benefiting from each other?
They're getting what they want. I mean, everybody would like to. I believe LeBron wants to win a title. I believe the Lakers want to win a title.
They do.
But they also both realize that at the current fork in the road, to use your word, there is no fork that leads to those things. The fork leads to, let's keep the building full, let's be relevant, let's have an iconic player on our roster, let's make sure he has everything he needs, but there isn't a player that if we do put those picks together that we're going to go get, that all of a sudden we're competing with the very best in the league. They're going to be in the mix, they're just not going to be at the top of the mix.
Remember when
that's good enough for everybody.
When Windhorst said a few weeks back that winning a title may not be the most important thing
Who
to
said
LeBron.
that? Oh, Windhorst.
Yeah.
Yep.
That playing with his son.
Yes.
Setting more records, potentially.
Being here
for his business. That's what matters. And I think that
I'm here.
You know, when Ireland says, that was Funchy. When Ireland says star effing driven town, a lot of this is a business. And I think it's hard. This is how I feel with the Dodgers as a Dodgers fan, even though people don't think I am. But it's tough for Lakers fans to realize that at this point, having LeBron James at the end, who's not going to win a finals, it's not going to happen. It would take a miracle, is better for Jeannie Buss and for the Los Angeles Lakers than a rebuild. Now, do I agree with Greg?
Better in the sense that it's
from
financially better. Yes, for sure.
Do I agree with corporate Greg that if you're gonna have to rebuild eventually, why not start now so that you can actually build it out so that when LeBron is done, you actually have something that could win? Yes, but from a business standpoint,
I was going to say the answer is because they're running
Ireland pushes back on Greg constantly. Well, that's not going to fill seats.
It's not going to fill seats, and the other part is they're not bad. They're just not good enough. There's something between those two things. Bad is what the Portland Trailblazers are. They're bad.
Bad is when you lost 49 games.
Yeah,
you went 33 and 49
bad.
the year Russ was there.
But are they as good as Oklahoma City? Are they as good as Dallas and Minnesota? And I don't need to go down the list. No, they're not. They're a ways back from those other teams. They're in the and for now, to your point, Morales, being in the middle is a far better business proposition than being at the bottom with prospects of better days to come.
And here's the difference for them. They will eventually rebuild. And they don't have to rebuild the way OKC does, and some of these other teams in these other markets that they do have a leg up. They don't have to rebuild in the traditional way.
You just keep the mic on. This is the kind of radio station we are. You would cough on the mic.
Dr. Battaglia.
Can't do it.
Call extension 198.
198.
Dr. Battaglia, extension 198.
Extension 198.
Really like to know who Dr. Battaglia is.
It's been a drop at this radio station for 8 years.
I need to meet Dr. Battaglia. I need to know what his backstory is. Maybe her backstory. I don't know. Whoever he or she is, I'd like to know him.
Paging Dr. Battaglia.
Factor Cap, Producer M, coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland.
Hey, ESPN LA listeners, it's John Ireland. You want to play golf with me and corporate Greg Berkman? You can, thanks to Terranea. If you listen to the show, you know Terranea is my favorite place in the world. It's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane. Well, you can play golf with Bergman and I at the links at Terranea, and then we'll buy you lunch. Here's how you win. Send a video of your golf swing to @ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram or on Twitter. We'll take a look at your golf swing. If you impress us, you'll be playing golf at Terranea with me and Bergman, and then we'll buy you lunch. And you can eat, all you can drink. We don't care. We're not paying.
Purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
And you know what we do each weekday at this time, around 11:30. It is time for Factor Cap. On the Travis and Sliwa Show, presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Injury attorneys you can trust, just like family, but a la familia.
At Normand Legal, you're not just a number. You're a person. You are part of the family. We care for your well-being. You're the number one priority.
213-747-2000. Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Oh, that's cap. That's so cap, Dad. Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back. First of all, it's not a cap. It's it just is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hi, guys.
Aloha.
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 Bonjour.
Hey,
Aloha.
It's so funny. I had more people from like the outskirts of my acquaintances reach out to me yesterday than I think I ever have. Yes, casual acquaintances reach out to me than I ever have. Basically, most of them are just them filming, watching in New York City, like CBS New York, and be like, "Hey, Bo!" I mean, it's funny. So anyway.
Well, you gotta shout out by name on the CNN clip.
I know.
Yeah.
What's funny about that, a little inside baseball, my friend works for CNN as a producer on CNN. She texted me and was like, "Can you pronounce all these names, like the ones I listed?" Which
It's
is great.
so funny,
Yeah.
like, because
Sliwa.
When I go on other shows, right?
Yeah.
When I out of market shows,
Yeah.
and they introduce me as Travis Rogers from the Travis, and you can feel the brakes slam on when they read your name.
Yes.
It's like I'm like Sliwa. Travis and Sliwa. That they got Sliwa right and Hebel right. I'm like, somebody somewhere picked up the phone and called somebody.
Yes, I gave a voice message of how to pronounce my last name, Alan's last name, and Malika Andrews.
Yeah.
So shout out that. It was very fun for a little bit. So
I can't stop looking up Italian sandwiches right now. It's not good.
Get the sausage and meatball combo. It will melt your face off.
Of meat.
It is a lot of meat, but it's a lot of wonderful too.
All right, so Mookie Betts. It's a very common thing that people talk about now with Mookie Betts. Every time he goes to Milwaukee, they're like, he won't stay in the famous Milwaukee hotel because he believes it's haunted. Many people believe it's haunted, so he'll stay in an Airbnb whenever they make their trips to Milwaukee. And it just so happens that Mookie returns to the team, just traveling with the team when they're going to Milwaukee. So my statement is, so again, put yourself in the shoe of, we've all kind of either done this or had this happen where you find out about something after it happened. So you would rather know a place is haunted going into it. So like, oh no, this is the haunted hotel, than find out this is the haunted hotel after you've stayed there. So fact would be you would rather know going in. Travis, fact or cap?
Cap. I'm taking your question very specifically the way that you asked it. When it comes to hauntings, I don't care. That doesn't resonate with me. If the place where like there'd been 10 strong arm, home invasions, and I need to know about that before. But if it's the spooky ghost rattling his chains in the attic, that doesn't really affect me all that much. So I'm cap.
Sleep.
I'm cap, but for an opposite reason from you. It would freak me out a little bit. It definitely would. Like, if I know going in, there was one time we went and visited Jerome. I think the city is Jerome in Arizona, and it's basically known for like being a haunted area. And there's one specific hotel that it's known, haunted hotel, whatever. And people, I'm sure this is part of the shtick, all good, but people are basically writing their experiences at staying at the hotel. Some of them, if you read the book, just might say as simple as, we had a great time, I stayed up till 2 a.m., I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
But others will tell whatever their version of the story is. Yeah, I don't want to know. I tell me after. Tell me after I checked out, I handed back, I just paid for the water and the liquor that I drank inside the room, and then on my way out, they're like, hey, oh, by the way, did you know that in the room you stayed in, I'd like to know that information before, but if I knew that, I don't think I would stay.
Jorge?
I would like to know after the fact. The cleaning lady around here, I used to scare her just to, you come back from the restroom, whatever, I'm working in the back, and I would scare her, and she's like, oh, you're going to cause me, you just cause me anxiety every time I see you. And I was like, hey, look, you got to be more afraid of the living, not the dead. So she's like, you make a great point. So, I would like to know after the
fact. Or maybe
fact.
Stop scaring her, Jorge.
He's
going into the building.
Hiding under our desk here.
Boo.
All right. Okay, before you go on, do you drink out of the minibar?
No, not typically.
Okay. Because when you said you pay for your alcohol and your water
not
and stuff.
typically, but there are, sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to do anything.
I so badly want to
be
the minibar guy. I just, that $42 airport bottle of Jack Daniels is just, I can't do it.
Here's what also is getting me. No, you're right about that.
I just can't do it. I want
more
to.
More times than not, definitely don't. But you know how now it's basically like, hey, you remove anything, 5 seconds, you're getting charged? And there's like a challenge there. Like, I hate that says that. I'm like, are they really going to charge? What if I don't actually drink it?
Yeah.
They don't want you to replace it, whatever.
Stupid. I don't even let Brenda open the fridge. Don't open it. They might
No,
charge
I know. Vegas is the worst, too. Like, if you look at the minibar, it starts adding up charges.
Vegas has good options,
I glanced at the Toblerone. It shouldn't cost me $12.
I gotta get a 10-pack of, Modelo's for that.
Put them in the
12-pack,
tub.
6-pack, yeah.
All right, so George Clooney is doing press tour right now for Wolves, which is a new movie he has coming out with Brad Pitt. It's going to be on Apple, and they also have a short, limited theatrical run. So he's talking to Variety about a variety of different things, a la Variety, and he says, this, when he was talking about Quentin Tarantino allegedly saying that George Clooney is not a movie star. This is from George Clooney. So this is George Clooney saying this. Quentin said some S about me recently, so I'm a little irritated by him. He did some interview where he was naming movie stars, and he was talking about Brad Pitt and somebody else. And then this guy goes, well, what about George, as a George Clooney? And George goes on to say, he's not a movie star. And he literally said something like, name a movie since the millennium. And I was like, since the millennium? That's my whole blanking career. So now I'm like, all right, dude, blank off. I don't give him any S. So I agree with George. His entire movie career is post-2000. Everything you know George Clooney from in terms of a movie is post-2000. But pre-2000 is all the TV stuff. So my statement is that you disagree with Quentin Tarantino, that you think George Clooney is a movie star. Capital M, capital S, movie star. Al, fact or cap?
Fact. I think that's how I do look at him. I'm not the biggest George. I don't go seek a movie just because George Clooney's in it.
But that's what a movie star is. You see a movie because that person's in it.
but I view him as a movie star. Like, if maybe I don't go see his movies, I'm assuming a lot of other people do. Like, I think of him as that. I say fact. I think he is a movie star.
Trev?
Yeah, it's fact. Give me another definition for George Clooney other than movie star. Like that.
I think people would start saying, okay, he's really good looking. Like they'll describe him.
You know what you're describing? His movie star looks.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he's a movie star. Like they're, maybe philanthropist, maybe political activist or whatever. But George Clooney, we all know who he is because he has been the leading man in movies for 25 years. He's a movie star. Yes, fact.
A thing in Tarantino's court is that the last, I would argue, last great movie George has been in was Gravity, which came out in 2013.
Okay.
So it has been 10 years. Doesn't mean that he's not a movie star anymore. But to say he hasn't had a good movie since the millennia is absolutely wrong.
Well, whether they're good or not is fine, but once you're a movie star, you kind of remain
are a
one.
movie star.
Yeah, that's just kind of that is it's like a title emeritus. Like John Wayne has been dead for a long time. Yeah. John Wayne was a movie star.
I like all those Ocean's movies.
He was in The Monuments Men. He was in Tomorrowland. He was in Hail Caesar. He was in Monkey Monster.
When was the first
Ticket
Ocean's
to Paradise?
11?
That was post 2000, and that was in 2001. So,
in your face, Tarantino.
No, he's a movie star. He gave his homies $1 million each, right?
That's right.
He gave his.
That's right.
But I think that's from his tequila brand, where he thinks he has a lot of that
regardless,
money
wherever
now.
the money's coming from, I know him from the movies, and to me, just like Al, he's a movie star.
That's a really cool story. Like he brought them all to they did a long weekend and cut them all a check, and
you're
not allowed to not take it. Yeah, pretty great.
All right, so Bowen Yang, who is one of the cast members on Saturday Night Live of this current iteration of Saturday Night Live, he was on Watch What Happens Live, which is with Andy Cohen on, I believe, Bravo. And he said this he was asked about, from Andy, he's trying to get something out of people of who's someone that you wouldn't want to host again, basically. So Bowen says this, quote, this host made multiple cast members cry on Wednesday during the before the table read because he hated the idea. So basically the first day this host would have heard sketches made cast members cry because he said he just was very brutal with his feedback in terms of criticism.
Sure.
So put yourself in Bowen Yang's position. You are a multiple-time Emmy-nominated actor for your role on Saturday Night Live. You have some sway on Saturday Night Live now. So you would name names. You would say who this person was that made everybody feel so crappy. Jorge Fatricat.
You mean like throwing people under the bus like that?
Yes.
So, but if this person is a crappy person...
He's a bad guy. The person that's getting the bus run over them is a bad guy.
I don't think I would, man. I just, because who knows who's going to call me next, I wouldn't do it.
Who their friends are.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do it.
Trev?
I'm Cap, too, for almost the exact same reason that Bowen Yang is not quite famous enough to start taking shots. If it were Will Ferrell, if it were, back in the day, John Belushi or Dan Aykroyd or one of those things, like you're a heavy hitter. If you're Eddie Murphy, go ahead. But Bowen Yang is not that, and he's going to need to continue to work, and he's going to need to continue to have other people saying nice things about him. That's when you just got to – it can bother you. You can tell your Lorne Michaels that, hey, get that guy. That guy sucks.
Or
I don't
among
want
your
to see him again.
coworkers, you can say, hey, that guy was the worst.
I don't think you can put him on blast because that could ultimately be bad for you.
Al?
Cap, I think for a little bit different reasons. I don't know why I need to tell the entire public who maybe will never have a relationship or an association with him. But I think what you just said about telling your coworkers and friends, people are going to know he's a bad person. And I'm okay with letting people know he's a bad person. But I'd rather have the people who actually cross paths with him know than just random people that it's unnecessary for them to know.
So Bowen hosts a podcast called Los Culturistas, and I listen to it every week, and they have at the end of their show something called I Don't Think So, Honey, where they kind of rail on something that they disagree with in the world or something like that. So Tina Fey was one of the guests maybe a year ago, and her I Don't Think So, Honey to Bowen was, I don't think so, honey, that you're a little too famous now to be criticizing movies and TV shows in the same way, because then you'll ruin a job in the future. And he was just being a movie critic.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're going to have roles in your next flick. So
until you can afford to never work again, you got to be pretty strategic about cutting the legs off of people that can give you jobs or maybe give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
in public.
In public. Yeah, if somebody comes to you private and says, hey,
private, look,
what's
I'm
that like?
open in private.
Oh, sure.
But
hey, let me go out of my way to nuke this guy or this woman or whoever it was. It seems like a bad idea. Factor Cap is brought to you, of course, by Joseph S. Normand. You have a lot of choices when it comes to legal teams, but family always comes first with Joe. Call 213-747-2000. That, of course, is the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. That number, 213-747-2000. 213-747-2000. Of course, you can go online at normandlegal.com. That's NOURMAND, normandlegal.com, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. I'm going to do the thing that I haven't done much. I'm going to be positive. Silver lining time about that Dodger bullpen, which
happened to you?
I need to do it while it lasts because it's not going to last long. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland is next after Travis Lee.
Archery?
You don't like archery?
No, archery is fantastic.
Okay, good. How many times have you gone practice archery?
I've archered. I don't believe you.
I'm a great archer.
They call me. They only me the archer. My nickname was the archer.
The only arch that you know is
they
Archie.
call me the archer. That was my nickname when I was
I don't think Mace is OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Now is a great time to visit the Commerce Casino and Hotel, located 7 miles south of downtown LA, just off the 5 freeway. Come experience some of the best action that SoCal has to offer. There's always a seat at the table at LA's Commerce Casino, with the widest variety of poker and table games around. From
Do you know that my superhydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Superhydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is the Mid-Morning Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Lightning. The way you love me is frightening.
Knock on wood. Eddie Floyd. Christopher Holmes wanted to hear this one.
Okay.
Dedicated to Dave Roberts for
What up,
obvious
Holmes?
reasons.
I like saying that.
Yeah.
It
Hey, what's
feels
up,
good.
Holmes?
I'm still thrown
Hey,
off
what's
by
up,
Trey.
Holmes?
Thrown off by?
Yeah, it's the whole. I got something positive to say. I don't know. You got to prepare me better for those.
Well, you know, I like to keep you guessing. I like to keep you on your toes. You never know. You never know what you're going to get. You ready?
Sure.
And I bet
Rams?
The
Rams are
Rams
going to make the playoffs.
They might. They should. We'll get to that. That's that's coming up. Maybe we'll do that at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. The Dodger bullpen is clearly the weak point of this team, right? The Clayton Kershaw pitched really well yesterday. That's 2 in a row.
Milwaukee's a good team, too. They've been playing really good ball.
Yep.
I thought that was an interesting test for him.
No, he pitched well, and no qualifications. He pitched well. And
6 Ks.
If they get that from him in the playoffs, terrific. Now, I'm not like, okay, we're good. Check that box. He's going to roll. Every time he takes the ball, I think we're kind of, okay, what is this one going to look like? Just because of his age and just because he's coming back from an injury.
I'll use yesterday as an example. If I played out 2 scenarios for you, and I think every Dodger fan would agree with this. If I said that Clayton Kershaw got beat up yesterday, I don't think there would be shock.
No.
If I said Clayton Kershaw gave up 1 run, went past 5 innings and had 6 Ks, there'd be a lot of Dodger fans saying, "What happened?"
Yeah.
And that's I think that's going to be Clayton Kershaw the rest of the way. It doesn't have to be a shocker, but I think it's, hey, he pitched well enough to help the Dodgers go grab a win on the road against a good Milwaukee team. That to me is a little bit of a surprise.
Nothing is a surprise. I look at it the other way. Good is not a surprise. Bad is not a surprise. That with him, it's just let's see, right? If he pitches well, I'm not surprised. If he pitches bad, I'm not surprised. He's just entered that phase where you just kind of go day to day. You kind of go game to game, and you hope that you get one of the good ones as opposed to one of the bad ones because they're both in there at this point. So I think the Dodgers starting pitching is starting to come together. Glasnow, if you look at some of the more advanced metrics, it's trending in the wrong direction, but he's pitching well. Yamamoto's still a ways away. Flaherty in his 2 starts has been really good. You're going to get Buehler tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like. Gavin Stone today, he's been less great, but the starting pitching, at least there are options there. The offense is the offense. They're going to score runs. The bullpen is the problem. Joe Kelly, I think, demonstrated why. He walks a lot of guys and has really had a difficult year. And I like Joe Kelly. I think he's fun. He's tough. He's competitive. He just hasn't pitched well. And hopefully he starts to figure some things out. Daniel Hudson, who pitched the 9th inning last night and pitched well, feels like one of those, to your point, he's had so many little injuries here or there, and it just feels like at any moment something can happen there. River Ryan just went down. Gratterall is down again. Trinan is down. Banda is a guy you just kind of cross your fingers and hope. Vezina is kind of your most reliable guy, and that kind of tells you a little bit there, except for the silver lining, which is Michael Kopech, who they got in the deal with the White Sox, right? Michael Kopech, since he's come to the Dodgers, has not been good. He's been great. He's thrown 6 1/3 innings. He's struck out 10 guys in less than 7 innings. He had his very first walk as a member of the Dodgers yesterday. He finally walked somebody. He had, I think, the 2nd highest walk rate in the American League when he was with the White Sox. He was walking everybody, and now he's walking nobody. He's only given up 1 hit as a member of the Dodgers. His whip is it's a stupid number. It's 0.316. Anything around 1.1 is good. He's at 0.3. So that's extraordinary. Here's what I would like to see happen moving forward. Can we pitch him in the 9th inning? Can we see what that looks like? Because so far they haven't done it. He has not recorded a save as a Dodger yet. Now they've put him in some. Last night when he pitched, I think he pitched the 8th inning. He pitched in a high leverage spot. Like he faced the meat of the order, and I'm okay with deploying him against the meat of the order. But you know this. Every baseball fan knows this, especially in the postseason. Those last 3 outs of the game are different, man.
Sure.
I know that the sabermetricians will tell you that they aren't. That it's just, hey, you got to get 27 outs. The outs in the 9th inning are the same as the outs in the 2nd inning. They're not. There's a reason that Mariano Rivera, that Clase in Cleveland is been as good as he is, that the Padres have a wall of these guys that can pitch the 9th inning. That's a difference. I would really like to see him in that environment a few times because now all of a sudden Hudson in the 8th. Phillips looks a little bit better. You're starting to at least see the outline of some guys that can do some things, but if you don't have a lights out, lock it up guy, it doesn't really matter. And for the first time, maybe Kopech can be that guy.
Well, and I think, listen, if you look at his numbers with the White Sox and what was your buddy telling you from the Rams, who is a White Sox fan, that this guy's got no control with where he's throwing the ball. go ahead and take him.
Yeah, he was like, good riddance.
Good riddance. All right, here's my question then. How come he all of a sudden just figured out how to be lights out? You're going to get a larger sample size. He's not going to continue to be this great, but it might be good just to put him in some situations and predicaments where, okay, here's the ball to 1-run lead in the 9th. Let's see what you can do. I think it's more that, because is he going to continue? Is he going to continue to be this lights out? He's pitched 6 innings. Okay, when you get around 18 innings, the numbers are going to start to kind of average themselves out. But I do like the idea and concept. There isn't a close out the game, we got confidence in this guy. And by the way, Dave Roberts has said this before, and maybe it doesn't change because we're in mid-August. It's going to be by committee. Now, I don't know how important that's going to be by the time you get to the postseason to make sure that it's not by committee, or they just don't have a choice.
The committee is fine as long as the committee has a lot of guys that you feel comfortable with. The Padres have a committee. The Phillies have a committee. The Arizona Diamondbacks have a committee. That's fine.
The Dodgers committee is because they don't have
any good options. Yeah. That's not a committee. That's a group of guys that you're just hoping to pick right on any given day. There's a term that I use with my friends about certain players being juicy in big moments. Right, that they just don't seem to, when it really starts to get tough, are they ready to kind of be at their best? Right. This is why Kenley Jansen was in that role forever and ever. Kenley Jansen had bad days. Kenley Jansen had days where he got hit hard. You never got the sense that he was scared, or scared is wrong. Tense, tight, anxious. Just
the bigger the moment, the more comfortable.
No, he might throw a bad pitch, but it's not because he was juicy. It's just because he threw a bad pitch. I don't know about the rest of this stuff. Evan Phillips, I don't know. I don't know. I want to see them in these moments. Let's put Kopech in there and see what that looks like. And if he starts, we got a month and a half-ish left into the regular season. What if you give him 10 opportunities like that and he looks great in 8 of them? Let's go. Well, but if you give him 10 and he looks good in 5 of them, it's like, okay, he's not the one.
Then and I was just going to say, it's not like there is somebody that they're super confident in that position anyways, in that role. So what do you really have to lose by doing it? You really have nothing to lose by doing
more information is power at this point. Yeah. And don't be surprised if one of the starters we're talking about gets a look down there at some point either.
Sure.
I don't know who it'll be, but let's say Buehler is bad tomorrow. Okay. Don't you at least check it out in the bullpen and see what that looks like, and just see if he can say, all right, listen, I just need you to go in there and reach back and give me everything you got.
All right, can I ask you a question? Let's say he's average. Buehler's average.
Again.
Okay, that's fine. Again. Yeah. But come postseason, you're only going to have so many starters that you can use anyways. Aren't they going to have to make a decision? Let's say Kershaw's okay and Buehler's okay. I'm not saying they're great. They're okay. And Grove kind of keeps doing what he's doing, which is pretty average here as a recent. Are you going to have to use any of these guys eventually down the road?
You have to use them all.
But aren't you going to have to use them out of the bullpen if Yamamoto's back? You're going to have to use one or two.
You're going to have to use
eating innings.
The only guy that is not going to pitch out of the bullpen for sure, Flaherty and Glasnow.
Yeah, I guess that's my point.
I think, and if Yamamoto's healthy, he's not him, but everyone else, I think, is a all hands on deck moment.
Sure,
and why not? It's not like you got a bunch of great options in there. Hopefully they just hit home. Mookie and Shohei hit home runs every night. I want to talk about Shohei coming up in a little bit too, because he might do a thing that's never been done before, which, I don't know, that sounds cool to me. We'll do that. But the Rams, you mentioned it. The Rams? I don't know if I'm going to say it quite yet. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. We just did Fact Cap a couple of minutes ago, and, of course, we were talking about Joe at the end. That, of course, is Joseph S. Normand, who's a big part of the Travis Lee program. We went and got to see him the other day, and we were talking about car accidents. We were talking about all the cases he handles for car accidents, but it's not just car accidents. It's accidents. So if you're involved in an accident of any kind, give Joe a call, because the insurance company, they're not looking out for you. Really, nobody's looking out for you that's not Joseph S. Normand.
Got a great example. There was Joseph S. Normand has a client right now. He was a passenger in an accident. The passenger had $300,000 of medical bills, but the insurance was only offering $100,000. Of course, the insurance company, they're not going to be reasonable in this situation. That's where Joseph S. Normand comes into play. Hopefully you're never in this situation. Hopefully you're never in an accident. But if you are, you got options. Family always comes first for Joseph S. Normand. The phone number, 213-747-5787. 2000. 213-747-2000. You could also visit normandlegal.com, and I know, Trav, for you, you've had personal experience with this as well.
I mean, I'll put it like this. When a member of my family was involved in an accident, I was comfortable to turn it over to Joe. Yeah, you guys know what my family means to me. I would imagine your family means the same thing to you, and that's what you want, is somebody that treats you like you're a member of their family, and that's exactly what we got with Joseph S. Normand. 213-747-2000 and normandlegal.com. The Rams, you ready? The Rams are going to make the playoffs.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment, with their trendy, spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address. Experience the Summer Stadium Tour featuring Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller Band at SoFi Stadium on Sunday, August 25th. For a limited time, single suite tickets are available for purchase. Rock out to your favorite bands this summer while enjoying the ultimate premium experience fit for you and your friends. Don't miss Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller Band at SoFi Stadium on August 25th. For more information on tickets and premium suites, visit SoFiStadium.com today.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Break up to make up.
This one's break up to make up. Omar. The guy gives us socks. Hey, by the way, I'm wearing my Back to the Future socks, Omar. So I'll do a sock check a little bit. Yeah.
What was I watching? I saw a Back to the Future thing the other day that made me think of you.
They're selling the trucks. Maybe that's what it is?
No. Oh, it's going to bother me.
Aren't those just regular trucks?
Yeah, but it's
It was something about the movie itself, and I know you love those movies.
Yeah.
I like the first one. The first one I love. Second one was good. Third one, we'll pretend it never happened.
Exactly.
But are they making another one? Is that what I saw?
I hope not.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. 50-50 for Shohei. We'll talk about that coming up in a minute. But Bill Barnwell had something on ESPN today talking about the 14 teams that made the playoffs last year and what their likelihood of getting back into it this year are.
Yes, but I also have a last man standing for you guys. So there's a last man standing, and if we want to do that, so it's... There we go. So this is Sportico released today, the top 10 most valuable NFL franchises. So they're just NFL franchises. So we have the top 10 here.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with Travis. All right, Travis, what's your first guess?
Basically... No order, just top 10?
In the top 10.
In the top 10.
Okay.
Let's take the Cowboys off the board because it's just too easy, right? I'm assuming they're number one?
Yes.
Because they're least valuable.
Yeah.
They're at the $10.32 billion from Sportico.
All right, so I'm next?
Yep.
The Rams? I'll take the Rams.
The Rams are number 2,
are they?
actually. So Cowboys, Rams, 1 and 2. Al, what's yours?
Let's stay big markets here. Let's go the New York Football Giants.
Yes, the Giants are number 3 actually on this list.
Oh, we got them in order, Sliwa.
All right, Jorge.
The Niners.
The Niners are on this list. They are number 5.
So number 4 is not there.
Yes. Travis?
New England.
Yes, New England is number 4. That is correct. All right, so Alan, what do you think?
All right, we're out of order. No, I'm not going to get not get number 5. I'm going to put Philly on that list.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Yes, the Eagles are at 8. Jorge?
The Chiefs?
The Chiefs
not
on the list. Jorge's out.
I don't know if they own their stadium.
Trav?
If they're trying to get a stadium.
I'm going to go...
By the way, we're looking for...
How many are left?
1,
4?
2, 3, 4 more.
I'm going to play this a little bit strategically. I'm going to take the New York Jets simply because of New York.
Yeah, 100%.
You are right.
Yeah.
The Jets are at 6.
Okay.
All right, Al?
I just thought of one. Okay.
What am I missing here?
We have 3 left.
I'm not confident about this answer. I'll go with them anyways. Seattle on that list?
Seattle is not on the list. Travis wins. Travis, what is your
Give
next
one more.
guess, though?
My next guess, I have 2. My next guess was going to be the Miami Dolphins.
That
that's good.
would have been correct.
Yeah.
That was at number 7.
Okay.
Oh, you know what the other one should have been? Raiders?
Oh,
The
Raiders
Raiders
are
are
on 2? Okay.
9.
As well.
There's one left?
There's one left, and I think it's going to shock you guys.
Is it Denver?
The Steelers.
Denver's not shocking, but that's
No.
a good pick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Who's it?
It's the Washington Commanders.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well,
No, that makes sense.
Market matters a
Yep.
great deal in these.
They just
formula.
got bought. They had
and
new stadium.
This is why I keep saying this too, and I keep mentioning the stadium. Chargers can't be on that list because they don't own their stadium.
Right.
No.
Right? If
Here's
you're
the
renting.
list 1 to 10. So it's Cowboys 1,
Dumbass
2
Dean.
Rams, 3 Giants, 4 Patriots, 5 49ers, 6 Jets, 7 Dolphins, 8 Eagles, 9 Raiders, and 10 Commanders. And from 1 to 2, though, it's a $3 billion difference.
Do you have further down? I'm just curious if you have it or
I
not.
only
No?
have the top 10. I can
Okay.
look on the Sportico website, which I am not subscribed to. Sorry, Sportico.
I would make sure we have my Knight Rider music queued up for next time for when I get my victories. I feel like Michael. No, that's like the Woody and Buzz ride at Disneyland. That doesn't. Oh, speaking of, I was going to tell you guys this. Very good news for me. Very bad news for anybody that has small children who are going to roll their eyes at you when you do this. The Mr. Lincoln thing that I love at Disneyland.
Oh, I sent you a picture.
You did.
Yeah.
It's coming back. It's
And they're adding
Yes.
Walt Disney.
Yes. So it used to be where Abe Lincoln would come up and say, 4 score, and 7 years ago, it's going to be that and Walt Disney kind of telling you his vision for what he had laid
And
out.
I think currently, when I was there maybe 3 weeks ago, they have a Frederick Douglass little thing there too. So I didn't go see it because
animatronic
I don't know
Frederick
if
Douglass?
it's animatronic, but it is an indoor learn about history.
Great.
At Disneyland.
Indoor, dark, air-conditioned, sit down, let's learn about history. That's the key part.
When you go to that one ride, the Resistance, whatever, Star Wars
Rise
one,
of the Resistance?
Yeah, when you see the hologram thing pop up,
Oh, that's wild.
that is cool.
No, there's a lot of cool stuff, but I need air conditioning and
Well, there's air conditioning
Yeah,
in
his
there.
has nothing to do with anything.
But
other
it's also
than
standing
it's
up.
cooler in there.
Yes, sitting. That's why the Tiki Room and Mr. Lincoln are must hits. It's sitting in the dark with air conditioning. You got to go home to do that. It's tremendous. I saw that on somewhere.
It was announced on D23.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mr. Lincoln lives, Slee.
You
Let's
remember
go.
the Back to the Future stuff or no?
It'll come to me. I need to stop because I'm still turning it like I'm consciously trying to think of it. Once I stop to not think about it, it'll pop back in there. So you've said this a few times, Alan, because it's true. About half the teams that made the playoffs from the previous year do not. Right? It's about half stay in, about half fall out, and it's pretty hard to predict which is which. And
It's what makes the NFL so unique.
19 out of 21 years, if I'm quoting the stat you read the other day, a team has gone from last to first. 19 in the 21 last years. Okay? Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time. So it's really hard to predict who's in and who's out. The Rams, of course, were in last year. And I'm optimistic that they could have a really good team.
Okay.
But when you kind of go back and look at what happened last year, everything kind of had to break their way towards the second half of the season. They went 7-1 in the second half of the season. They went into the break at 3-6 and went 7-1 over their final 8 games. They got healthy at exactly the right time. Kyron Williams came back and was healthy. Matthew Stafford came back and was healthy. They had a schedule that was favorable for them in the second half, and they took advantage of it. Looking at what they have this year, looking at some of the injuries that they've had so far in preseason, and particularly who they've had go down in the preseason. Of course, we know Aaron Donald. Of course, you know Chris Shula is the new DC. Never done it before. The Rams are not one of those, oh, yeah, just slide them through. I think that's San Francisco, Kansas City, Buffalo.
Sure.
There's probably one or two more that I'm not thinking of. Detroit, I think, is they're gonna go to the playoffs. The Rams, I think, fall into that category of they're going to need some stuff to go right for them. They're going to hope that Fisk and Verse, their first 2 draft picks, are pretty darn good and can at least stem the flow of what Aaron Donald is not going to be able to do because he's not there. Chris Shula is going to need to be pretty good at this. Matthew Stafford needs to stay healthy. Puka needs to produce numbers that are similar to what he did a year ago. Kyron Williams needs to stay healthy, or Blake Corum needs to be able to step in and do what he did if Kyron Williams is unhealthy. That offensive line, which is already nicked up, needs to be. The Rams need a lot of things to kind of stack up if they're going to get to that 10-11 win threshold, which is probably what it takes to get in.
So this is why if you said, hey, you got to pick one or the other. Like we just talked about, half of the teams don't make it in the playoffs. Year to year, it's recycled through, which does not happen in the NBA. That does not typically happen in, I guess there's a little bit more now in Major League Baseball just because you have more wild card teams, so whoever can come up, whoever can't. But if I said right now, hey, you got to pick, and you got 10 different people here that all watch the NFL and say, do the Rams make the playoffs next year or not? This is where I give them the edge. Okay, where I
to get back?
To get in. This is why I give them the edge. Has nothing to do with the players that you just mentioned, even though I know it all comes down to that.
Sure.
Has nothing to do, yes, injuries are going to affect every team. I don't care how good your roster is. If Kansas City gets riddled with injuries, then the chances of them really making noise, of course, that starts with Patrick Mahomes. But the reason why I say I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt to grab one of those spots, even if it's at the end, it's because 11-5, 13-3, 9-7, 10-6, 12-5, 10-7, and 5-12 the 1 year after the Super Bowl. Well, ever since Sean McVay has been there, I'm going to take my chances and play my odds that Sean McVay is going to find a way to make it happen. I'm going to give Sean McVay the edge over all those other teams that you're like, yeah, but look at that roster. Yeah, but go look at the
what if they can't stop anybody?
The Chicago Bears are in a great position because they just got Caleb Williams and there's other talent. I'm going to go back to the franchise that I think should get the benefit of the doubt and the coach that should get the benefit of the doubt.
100%. The problem is he doesn't do the defense. And the defense is where they're going to score points. Stafford, if healthy, will score points. Kyron Williams, if healthy, will move the ball on the ground. Puka and Kupp, if healthy, will take care of the receiving. That side, I don't worry about it really at all for all the reasons that you said. If Chris Shula is a new DC and is struggling to figure it out at the NFL level, I don't know how you fix that on the fly. If Jared Verse and Braden Fisk are green and don't start to get play like at a high level relatively quickly, how do you fill in for Aaron Donald? If Kobe Turner and Byron Young are not the same players they were a year ago because 99's like that, you can't fix that. I don't think Sean McVay has as much impact on that side of the ball as he does the other.
He doesn't, but I have faith that, well, why did McVay want that coach? Why did McVay put these players in that position? Yeah. That's the only thing. I think that's what I mean by the benefit of the doubt. They may very well not make the playoffs, and that just happens because that's the nature of the NFL, and doing what McVay does year in and year out it's not the norm. It's not what most coaches do. But it's McVay that decided, I'm going to bring in that guy,
the best argument.
And I trust McVay over most of these other coaches.
You should say the Rams are going to make the playoffs. I'm almost there. I'm almost ready. I need to see what it looks like against the Lions. Shohei, fitty. That's the Rams. We'll see. It's coming up. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, Southern California's premier resort casino experience. Don't get stuck in traffic. Don't think of, I'm going to go have to take the family, get on a flight, pay for 4 or 5 tickets, the headache of traveling. Don't do all that. Why would you do that when the best casino resort in Southern California is less than an hour away? It's a world-class resort, exceptional entertainment, dining, spa, and golf. And, of course, the round-the-clock gaming excitement. 1,100 hotel rooms and suite. I stayed at one of their hotel rooms about a month ago or so. We did our broadcast from there. It's beautiful. Temecula, by the way, that's the other thing that's so great about Pechanga. It's where it's located. The area of Temecula is beautiful. It's right off that I-15 freeway. If you got a big family, I strongly encourage you to go check out the Cove, which is an incredible 4.5-acre pool complex. There are 4 pools, 3 hot tubs, 2 twisty water slides at the family pool as well. I'm going to give you the website. Go take a look for yourself. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA to book a reservation. For more information, go on the website. You could also follow them on Instagram at Pechanga Casino for up-to-the-minute news and info.
Mason and Ireland.
By the way, we're the normal ones. Most
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have
It's
to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
This is why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So be like the 3.8 million businesses who have come to ZipRecruiter and sped up their hiring process. Try ZipRecruiter today for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. One more time, ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
The LA Kings have a new home.
Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season.
This fall, 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app is your home for every moment of the Los Angeles Kings.
Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season in only one place. Easy to access, easy to find, easy to enjoy every Kings game and your favorite Kings podcasts.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text HATCH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text HATCH to 42424. That's HATCH to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
12:21 on a live imaging Tuesday. Travis and Sliwa. What do we got here, Jorge?
No requests. It's just something I have queued up.
Okay, that's fine. I thought we were doing requests.
No, because I thought we were doing something else. So I didn't even.
I thought you were all right, Spider.
No, I thought you thought that I thought I was all right.
So today is Good Karma Brands Fit Day across the Good Karma Brands company and the radio stations. We do a lot with the teammates. We like to have fun. I don't want to partake in this. But
Why not?
As part of GK, and Laura is our content manager for GKB Fit Day.
Okay.
She's like making sure we do all the fun and frivolity.
Cool.
Apparently Mark Cates just planked for 5 minutes. Down on 5.5 minutes.
He's fit. Cates is running marathon.
So right now, your team, which is M, Jorge, and yourselves, Alan, and Travis. Weird saying Slee's first name. I don't like that. It
didn't feel right.
It didn't taste right.
I understand.
You guys are going to do 2 sets of jumping jacks, 20 each.
180.
Well, total, but 40 per person.
Okay.
In a certain time, Laura? No. Oh, yeah, well, stand up.
Just right now?
Yeah, Jorge, you could do it where you're sitting or standing.
Do we want to sync this up, or are we just going to do
ready?
them
3, 2, 1, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Morales, 6 is sitting.
So right now,
8,
there is good jumping jack action.
10,
Jorge is going a little bit quicker than everybody.
13,
Jorge, slow down, bro.
Trav and Slee have a pace.
16, 17, 18, 19, and done.
That's the first set. Take a breath.
Yeah,
Take a little break.
Oh, Slee, let's go.
Oh, we're gonna run it back. Travis, you're gonna run it back for another 20.
2, 1, go.
1,
Jorge,
2,
slow down, bro.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
No.
8. Come on.
Well, I could, but I'm anchoring.
10, 11.
Come on,
12,
Chris.
13, 14, 15, 16.
That's good jumping jack action.
18, 19, 20.
There you go for GKB Fit Day.
Thank you guys. That was great. You guys got the easiest one.
That is a pretty. Let's lower the bed a little bit. That isn't an easier one. The jumping jack.
Had I had to do the push-up one, you would have had run out of battery.
It'd be like
I never
Stanley in
would
the
have
office.
gotten there. Never.
You would have got 20.
Yeah, yeah. If you gave me all day, I could do 20. 20 in a row. I couldn't
20
do
in a row,
10 in a row.
You're a lot lighter.
I'm trying really hard not to breathe hard right
You
now.
can breathe hard. That's what people want. They want the hard
I
breathing.
would not have been able to do that as easily, shall we say,
6
several
months ago. Yeah.
Emily, the walking paid off right there.
Or the running
all
that
the
you
hard
log.
work.
Running that you log.
Culminates in being able to do 40 jumping jacks and not have a heart attack.
Correct.
I liked it. I think we should do that
I thought
every
you were
week.
going to get up. I thought at one
I was
point
almost
going to
get up.
on this desk.
We had
and just
another
start doing
earthquake
it.
here.
Okay, what's directly below us? Is it Starbucks directly below? Probably,
No,
right?
there's the. Well, we're the second floor, so it's just
Well,
the
it used to
lobby.
be StubHub, yeah.
Oh, yeah, lobby. Okay. Yeah, somebody's up like, is it happening again? I think Trav and Slee started to do jumping jacks. Piece of cake, Slee. What's up, Chris?
Did we give away fantasy this hour yet?
I don't think we have.
For those who don't know about the meatball thing that leads to fantasy, can you explain it again?
Wait a minute. What now?
The meatball. Meatball gets us
Take
to
a,
fantasy.
put them together like a meatball. Bam.
So here's the thing. In years past, with our fantasy football draft party that happens Friday, August 23rd at the Hollywood Park Casino, in years past, we would give away a table or a team. So you would win and you bring 8 of your friends, whatever it is, 10, 9, does something. That's very difficult to do. So if I was to ask Trav right now, like bring 8 of your friends to Friday night at the Hollywood Park Casino for a fantasy football draft, that's not going to be easy to do. People have lives. They have children. They have pets. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to give away spots, and you're going to make new friends, new compadres, new hermanos. Maybe you get a new girlfriend, maybe a new boyfriend, whatever you want. Yeah, Oruka if you want. So we're going to pair you and create teams, and I think that's going to be fun. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. We're going to give it a try. Just like making meatballs. You take the ground beef, the pork and the veal, whatever you want to mix it in. You throw it in a big bowl. You throw an egg. You throw some breadcrumbs. You throw some parsley, maybe some chopped garlic, depending how exotic you want to get.
Salt and pepper.
Well, yeah. I mean, kosher salt, though.
Yeah, of course.
You know, not ionized salt.
Of course not.
Maybe you put a little pecorino in there.
Sure.
You put your hands in that, what really should be room temperature meat. You don't want it too cold.
But you don't want it gummy either.
What?
You never want it gummy.
No.
You leave it out too long and get a little gummy.
And whether you're wearing latex gloves or not, sometimes you want the earthy essence.
Raw dog that thing, man.
You put your hands in that meat and you start rolling it together, and bam! You create magical meatballs. That's what we're doing. We're bringing people together, and we're creating magic. Caller number 7 and caller number 10. At 877-710-ESPN, you win a spot, one spot, to our fantasy football draft party happening Friday, August 23rd at Hollywood Park Casino. And by the way, you guys have come out to that thing before. We have a lot of fun that afternoon. Sedano and Cap will be broadcasting live, but we'll have Marcus Grant, Kirk will come by, DeMarco, Cope Greg, maybe Mace, maybe you guys if you want to come. And we just have
That didn't
fun.
feel sincere, did it, Al?
Well, in years past, you're like, you want me to do what? I'm like, yeah.
That's not true. No, don't start.
Trav, we'll see you Friday, August 23rd at 3:30 p.m. at Hollywood Park Casino, where the game reigns.
Do I have to?
Calling right now.
Yeah.
Numero siete.
Why not? It's fun.
It is. You guys are going to have a great time.
You were out there that one year where there was a picture of you, me, Key, Clinton Yates.
Yep.
The big
It's
CY.
the first time I ever spent time with the big CY. Like
How'd it
real
go
time.
for you?
It was great.
Yeah, he's great.
Clinton and I have become friends since then.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends?
That's
If
right.
Michael Bolton once said.
That's where I met Julian for the first time, too.
Oh, Julian. What's Keyshawn doing over there at the Witness Protection Network?
I don't know.
They on right now?
I saw Key on Instagram last night. Not like old Key, Jets Key. There was a reel that popped up when the Jets had, it was Testaverde was the starter. I forget who the backup was. They both went down, and Tom Tupa, the punter, had to play quarterback for like a half. And he was throwing dimes to Key. Key scored a touchdown. He had 2 long catches.
Can you imagine what happened in the front office that week? Key was bothering everybody. I need Tom Tupa to be the quarterback. You know that was happening.
It was terrific. But that's the last time I saw Key. It was on Instagram last night.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on over there.
What is going on over there? They're retooling.
Are they?
I'm waiting for you guys to get your invite for that.
But it won't be USC Stanford this year.
Let's take a look. It's not. It won't be Utah State because who cares, right?
Definitely won't be that.
Let's see. USC.
Can't be a home game because I got to be at the Coliseum now.
Are you going to mall, Morales?
There's only 6.
Could it be? Is it? Would a Michigan be?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Although that's a little early in the day.
Yeah, that's early.
12:30.
It's early in the day. It's usually a night game. Oh, you know what it'll probably be?
Washington?
It'll probably be Penn State on the 12th of October.
But that's home.
It's home, but that's not going to affect
doesn't
the
matter.
party. It's going to affect Chris, but it's not going to affect the party. Is that Ike's or pizza? That's Ike's.
That's Ike's. My guy Ike's coming with the salads. I love it.
Yeah.
Ike, don't worry. I'm coming out to toss that thing. It's so good, their salads.
I haven't had the pleasure.
Oh, I mean, their bread is amazing, but I'm trying to avoid bread while I can. So that next year on GKB Fit Day, I could do 100 jumping jacks.
We just inhale their sandwiches. I don't think we've seen the.
You know what we got lucky we didn't have to do? Burpees.
No, that's like a real thing.
Burpees. The Marines do burpees.
Pull-ups are
no.
real. Push-ups, I think I really feel like you're. Even though you've been telling me this for about 3.5 years that you can't do 4.
I'm not lying to you. I could not do 10 push-ups in a row. I couldn't do it.
Okay, I believe you know.
I could do 6 or 7, and then my arms would start to shake, and I'd have to go to
What if you
to a
put
knee.
one knee down?
I could get to 13 or 14. I'm not getting to 20.
2 knees down, you're getting to 16.
When I saw Good Karma Fit Day and we got the jumping jack assignment, I'm like, oh, thank God. And I think I could plank, not for like Kate's level, but I could plank for a while. I'm not burpeeing, I'm not pull-upping, and I'm not push-upping, unless we're eating push-ups. Those are pretty good. Remember those, Al?
Flintstones?
Yeah. Was it ice cream or sherbet or yogurt?
No, sherbet, right?
It was like sherbet. It was kind of gross.
Well, they had the other ones that did it too. I swear it was ice cream.
I only remember almost like the
stick
sherbet.
at the bottom.
Yeah, and they'd melt around the side. Not a good
cardboard
thing.
at some point because it's
yeah, and you'd have to peel it back. It was not a good deal. What are we doing next, Em? Are we doing a little rabbit hole?
Rabbit hole.
I have a good one. I'm excited to do rabbit hole next. That's coming up. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him.
Hey, ESPN LA listeners, it's John Ireland. You want to play golf with me and corporate Greg Berkman? You can, thanks to Terranea. If you listen to the show, you know Terranea is my favorite place in the world. It's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane. Well, you can play golf with Bergman and I at the links at Terranea, and then we'll buy you lunch. Here's how you win. Send a video of your golf swing to @ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram or on Twitter. We'll take a look at your golf swing. If you impress us, you'll be playing golf at Terranea with me and Bergman, and then we'll buy you lunch. And you can eat, all you can drink. We don't care. We're not paying.
Fine. I'm covered by Progressive. So, is my boyfriend there? Maybe on one knee? The entire roof is crushed. So, no ring.
Be prepared for the unexpected with Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Product features subject to policy terms and may not be available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
When you were young, all you wanted in the summer was an ice cream truck to roll by. Now, you just can't wait for the Harbor Freight parking lot sale to roll around. And it'll be here this weekend. Maybe you're looking to fill up that tool chest. Maybe you're looking for a tool chest to fill up. You'll save money either way. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until August 18th, 2024. While supplies last. Limitations apply.
This is the Mid-Morning Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
There is no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
Which direction we are going.
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong when it's time for a rabbit hole. So rabbit hole is whatever.
Ready.
Okay.
Okay, just relax, bro.
Chill.
I'm usually not.
Okay, so rabbit hole is whatever has been occupying our mind over the past 2 days.
Are you like jumping in here?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're usually
Has he ever
honestly
done
very
this?
hesitant about rabbit holes. You're like, oh, let me find one real quick. No, let me redo that because this is actually what it sounds like. Clomp, 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 clomp on your laptop when you're looking something up. But all right, by all means, sir,
Thank
take
you.
it away.
Go ahead,
All right.
Trev. Better be good.
Probably not, but I don't care. It interests me.
Is it cologne?
Is it what?
Is it cologne?
No, it's not. That is.
Aquavelva?
I see. Not only I got a good rabbit hole today, I have a good back pocket rabbit hole of ancient colognes that I can do at any time.
Caveman cologne.
All right, so we're gonna do a little game here with this. You know, like just those sometimes those expressions that we all throw out, like that you just say something, but you don't actually know why you say it, right?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we'll start with this one. We're gonna go the whole 9 yards. Does anybody know what that means?
I do.
You do?
Me too. It's from a machine gun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Did you know that, Al? I didn't know that. So the whole 9 yards was in World War II. You're a fighter pilot. They gave you 9 yards of ammunition, and you would empty the whole thing, and you went the whole 9 yards, meaning you fought as hard as you could.
But sometimes people think it's football. Really.
It's not. That's
100%. I thought it was 3rd and 9. It was Giants and the Chiefs.
Going for it, 4th and 9.
Yep.
Do you know what a dead ringer means? Like that guy's a dead ringer.
No, I don't.
Anybody?
I know what it means in context, but not.
But
the
it has
origin.
nothing to do with the context. That's
What's
what's
the
so
context
funny
of
about
it?
this. In bygone times, there was a lack of places to bury people after they had died, so people would dig up coffins after a number of years in order to reuse the graves. When the coffins were opened, around 1, this is upsetting, by the way, around 1 in 25 had scratch marks on the inside. They had been burying people alive. To prevent this from happening again, a string was tied to the deceased's wrists, guided up through the ground where it was tied to a bell. Someone would have to sit out in the graveyard all night and listen in case it rang. The term dead ringer.
I did know about the bell thing. I did not know
Yeah.
that this was the origin of dead ringer.
That's what a dead ringer could be.
I thought it was like a shooter, a sniper, like something like that.
Because they were burying people alive. That's why. That's also graveyard shift. You had to sit out there and listen for the bell in case you heard it during the graveyard. Last one. I have many, but this will be the last one. To pull out all the stops.
Okay.
I don't.
Again,
Would that
we know
mean-
the context.
The context
of it.
we all know.
Can
but
I have a guess?
Sure.
So would it be something to do with like a boat?
No.
Like you're pulling out the stops of like water flowing in?
No, but you're on the right path.
I don't have another guess.
Okay. You pull out so an organ, the musical instrument, an organ, right, has stops all over it. When you pull out all the stops, that's when it makes that wah sound, and that super loud organ sound is when all the stops have been opened, all the stops have been pulled out. You pull out all the stops.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like all these things.
Yes.
The stops in the water.
Yes.
Pull them all out and the water comes rushing in.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have one more? I got one more just for.
You got one more?
No, do you have one more or that's it?
I have
one
one
more.
more.
Oh yeah,
One
let's do one
more.
more.
Oh, you want
like
another?
Look at us.
these.
Hey, look at us. Look at us coming after you. Like, give us more of
It's
your...
raining cats and dogs. Do you know why it's raining cats and dogs?
I've heard this before. Wait, I've heard this before.
I also feel like I know this story, but give it to us.
British homes used to have thatched roofs made of thick straw. It was the only place where animals could get warm, so dogs, cats, and pests, including mice and bugs, used to live in the roof. When it rained, however, it would get slippery, and the animals would slip and fall out of the roof. Hence, it would be raining cats and dogs.
It's raining so hard, therefore the cats and dogs who live in our roof won't
would
stay still.
slide out.
Okay.
Yes.
That was very educational.
These are good for trivia for me.
I love that
eventually,
stuff.
Because
No, that
there's
was
probably
good.
some sort of trivia round somewhere. It's like, what's the actual origin of XYZ?
To break the ice? Anybody want to know what break the ice means? You on break the ice or turn a blind eye? 'Cause
Why not both? Honestly,
Yeah.
these are interesting to me.
Turn a blind eye. A British naval hero, Admiral Horatio Nelson, had one blind eye. When the British forces were signaling for him to stop attacking a fleet of Danish ships, he held up the telescope to his blind eye and said, "I do not see the signal." He continued to attack nevertheless and was victorious. So he turned a blind eye and ended up winning the naval battle. Lastly, breaking the ice. This one is a little literal when you think about it. Obviously means, to say hello to somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
Back when road transportation had not been developed, ships would be the only transportation and means of trade. At times, ships would get stuck during the winter because of ice formations. The receiving country would send small ships to, quote, break the ice to clear the way for the trade vessel.
Okay.
This gesture showed affiliation and understanding between two territories. You would break the ice to allow goods in and foster warm relationships.
It's a good conversation starter.
I had a good rabbit hole today.
It's a good rabbit hole.
We'll keep that up every
Not a
Tuesday
chance.
and Thursday. Whenever
Thursday. There's another
Not a
one
chance.
coming.
I got a baseball reference for you next Thursday, I guarantee.
come
Hey,
on.
listen to this one. How much does a polar bear weigh?
I don't know.
Enough to break
Enough
the ice.
to break the ice.
Alan, what's yours?
I'm
done with that.
I think this is. I think I was fed this because of some of the Olympics. A high dive used to be like a competition, a record of how high you would dive, and this is back in like the 70s.
Not like tricks,
and the
but how
80s.
high you
Like
could go.
extreme heights, yeah.
How high you would go up, and they would do
Like in Acapulco.
They would literally
cliffs?
have.
Oh.
They would literally have Trev. This is. I'm going to use one as an example. The one I watched, a little doc on this.
Not
Back in
Downey,
1983, the annual high dive world record challenge. So if one guy was going up and it was, the world record was 160 feet, you're
That's a
now
lot,
just
by the
going
way.
up. You're going up a little bit more on this ladder, and then there's a little bit of a platform there that you're jumping off of. And in order to make it a dive, the definition of diving is you couldn't just jump
You had to go head first.
and land on your feet. You could land on your feet, but you have to have at least one flip
Okay.
in order to make it a dive.
Got it.
That was the idea and the
Got it.
concept. Okay. So since 1983, the world record still stands at 172 feet. Was the highest mark
That's
that somebody had
17
jumped.
basketball hoops stacked on top of
Yes.
each other.
Yes, that's the highest that it ever got to. And basically what the doc is saying, no shock here,
You break your legs if you go any higher.
can't go any higher.
Yeah.
And there's somebody that broke the world record, but he did it with a specific suit on, and like a lot of these divers are saying, this guy didn't do it, and he didn't do a flip, whatever
He's
the case
basically
is.
the steroids of this
Cliff diving, yeah.
It's not even so. He's got the helmet. He's got like these people. Literally, all they had on were their speedos to do their jump, whatever the case is. And I don't know if this just kind of came to me because of some of the Olympic stuff that's going on. But Bo, you watch the video of them going up and they're mic'd up, so they're talking to.
So you said this was 83?
1983.
So I have a vague recollection
Of
of
something like this?
Wide World of Sports doing this when I was a kid, and not just the Acapulco cliff divers, but because I in my mind's eye, Slee, was the ladder really narrow?
Very narrow.
Yeah,
and
I've
shaking.
seen this. I've
and
seen this.
Like they're every step that
Yes.
they're going up, it's shaking a little bit because the higher you go up, the less.
I've seen this before, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrifying.
So world record 1983, and it physically I don't think can get broken.
Jorge?
Well, my buddy Chris is in town. He's in the military. He's Air Force, I believe. And we used to work together at, Denny's or whatever, kind of same age. but he went to the military when that. So we were having dinner, and he's asking the waitress, like, hey, do I get a military discount? And then she's like, yeah, I'll help you out in a cash register. So we go up there. The manager comes over and says, oh, you're for real, like, a Air Force, like, here's my ID. It's like, I'm just making sure there's no stolen valor here. And I was like, wait, well, what does that mean? So then he's like, oh, and then they explained to me, he's like, oh, they showed me a video on YouTube, and man, there's people that dress up in military attire and go out there just to get a discount at the mall or get a free dinner or whatever. Yeah. And it just, I didn't know about this, and I went down that hole where, you see one guy do it, and then this person does it, and then there's the guy filming these is a former Marine, I think.
Okay.
And he's like, going up to them with the camera, like, yo, man, where'd you serve? Like, like just asking them questions about the military. Oh, what's the call for this? What's the call for that? And he confronts them like, oh, your boots aren't even tied right. You're not even dressed appropriately. And I didn't know that was such a thing. And
I'm not surprised. I knew that it was a thing, but that it's rampant is unfortunately not a huge surprise.
For a discount or a free dinner or whatever it is.
And it's like, how much does it cost you for like losing part of your soul?
It's my
bad karma.
It's my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah,
playing that one.
I know.
Yeah, so shout
that
out
one's
to
a little
troops,
less terrible than stolen valor.
I would be remiss if I didn't do this, and I made the same mistake that you made. My grandfather was a Marine, okay? And I once made the critical error of describing him as a former Marine. Jorge, like he told
Once
me,
a Marine.
there is no such thing as a former Marine. Once you are a Marine, you are a Marine, and that's that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So mine has been my fascination with the specific press tour of a movie that's coming out right now. So do you guys at all remember the press tour of Don't Worry, Darling? So it was a movie that was like probably a C movie, not that great, not absolutely terrible, kind of in the middle of the road, but the press tour around it with Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde, and Chris Pine was just absolutely bonkers if you care about that stuff at all. So now we're in the moment of where there's kind of that stuff happening again-ish.
Oh, this is what you told me about yesterday, huh?
Yeah, so there's this new movie called It Ends With Us, based off one of the better-selling books of years by Colleen Hoover. I am not necessarily a fan of Colleen Hoover, nor have I read the book, but I do know that the book handles very serious subjects in terms of domestic violence. But the movie is being marketed as come with your girlfriends, wear your florals, and like basically trying to do Barbie, but like this movie has some very, very tough topics in it. So I don't know if I want all my girly pops to go out on a girls' night out to go see It Ends With Us. It stars Blake Lively, whose husband plays Deadpool and Deadpool and Wolverine. So they're also trying to do almost like a Oppenheimer moment with Deadpool and Wolverine. So there is one camp, the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds camp, that is marketing this as, come see the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds combo movie. Take your friends, take your boyfriend. It'll be a good time. There's the other side, which is the director, writer, and also co-star of the movie, Justin Baldini, who is marketing it as, this is the subject matter of this story, and like trying to set up like, charities and other things that are going to benefit from this. So it's kind of like Blake has not been pictured with Justin Baldoni on any red carpet as her co-star and the director of the movie. And Blake has only been seen with herself or with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, or even with Hugh Jackman. And it's just the who says what, who answers what question about whom. Jenny Slate was asked about working with Justin Baldoni, and she gives a kind of roundabout answer about it. So it's just me and my friends who care about PR and press tours just kind of parsing every little piece of nugget of information. Again, I don't know any of the concrete details of what happened on the film. It is all alleged, but it is interesting to me, and I'm paying attention.
Slee, you should go see that movie and come back and decide who was doing the more representative press tour. Is it the go put on your? Do you say put on your florals
go
type
put
of
on
movie?
your florals and go take your girly pals to go see It Ends With Us.
Do you have any florals? You don't strike me as a whimsical floral sort of man.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I would not necessarily recommend It Ends With Us. I have heard not the best reviews, but do your own thing. If you like it, you like it.
I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that. I think I'm okay. I think. What was the one you were telling me about that I did want to see?
Sing Sing or Dee Dee?
No, it was something else. Like
Describe it a little more.
I don't remember. I just remember it's the one I'm like, yes, I not only want to, I will. It'll come back. My memory is failing
Was
me
it the
drastically.
one we went to talk about in the dump that was just announced today?
Could be. No, it
Okay.
wasn't that. It was a couple of days ago. It's not that one. But we're going to do the dump coming up next. Little super crosstalk right after that. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Next Gen, you know what they are. Say it with me. They're the official AC heat and plumbing company of us, of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Next Gen, the absolute best in the biz. They've got thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it. Right now, you're going to want to really make sure that your house is comfortable, right? It's hot outside. We're just getting into the really brutal heat of the summer. So keep your home comfortable year-round with their Next Gen Rewards membership plan. Yes, you can get your whole home, I should say, covered with multi-point tune-ups and professional cleanings on your home's air conditioning and water heater systems, full plumbing inspections, complimentary diagnostic charges, discount parts on repairs, right? So join the Next Gen Rewards membership and get on the VIP list with a guaranteed 2-hour window priority service appointment. That is huge. If you've ever tried to get your AC fixed in the middle of the summer, you could literally be waiting days, if not even weeks, to get an appointment. You're a member on the VIP list. 2-hour priority service appointment. Next Gen Rewards membership is only $19.99 per month for ESPN LA fans, reduced from $29.99, but only for a limited time, so sign up today. It's the only name you need to remember for a safe, comfy home. That, of course, is Next Gen. 833-3-NEXTGEN. 833-3-NEXGEN, or visit nextgenaaronplumbing.com to schedule online.
Mason and Ireland. Flex for the camera, Mace. Show off the summer shred.
Yeah, I think you got a ways to go.
No, are you serious? Look at that. Are you kidding me? Hey, from what it was before? The biggest show on the radio. Today at 1 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is on now at Cardinale Way Hyundai. Lease a new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe SC for only $319 a month plus tax for 36 months on approved credit. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance Program. Cardinale Way Hyundai just up the 91 freeway in the Corona Auto Center or CardinaleWayHyundai.com. Lease for $319 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease. 12K miles per year. $39.99 due at signing. Not all buyers will qualify. Down payment may be required. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/03/2024.
Hey guys, it's Cap. So you get this letter from the Department of Water and Power with 2 big bold words, high usage. And you don't really know what to do about it, but you kind of have an idea of who you can blame. So you go knock on your daughter's door and you go, hey, would you stop showering for 45 minutes twice a day? And then you go to your son and say, would you please stop washing your car 3 times a week? And then you continue with your life until you get another one of these beautiful letters that says high usage on it. This is where the Water Boy comes in. The Water Boy specializes in pressurized leak detection. All they do, day in and day out, is go to homes and find leaks. Their state-of-the-art equipment allows them to visually and acoustically inspect your pipes to find that stubborn leak that's constantly flowing. It can be anything from a failing toilet to a burst pipe in your slab. You don't even know it existed. They have ample amounts of experience from water damage restoration to general construction and plumbing that, when combined, allows them to master the art of leak detection. They do non-destructive leak detections, which means they're not going to open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Water Boy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Water Boy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Water Boy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Pernia Law, here to tell you about our newest partnership deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
That's right. Call us or slip into the DM, Uncle.Artie.
Uncle Artie's not just my friend, but he's your uncle in the business. Artie Pernia is a seasoned personal injury attorney who works with you, so you receive the best possible compensation for your case. Let Uncle Artie and the Pernia Law family provide peace of mind, so you can focus on recovery and getting back to you.
If you've been injured in an accident or you're unhappy with your current injury attorney, come to Pernia Law. We take care of you like family. That's why they call me Uncle Artie.
Call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Hey, here's a question. After you wear your clothes, you toss them in the washing machine, right? Nobody wants to wear dirty clothes. So how come you don't throw your shoes in the washing machine when they get dirty? I mean, come on. Your shoes are touching the filthy ground all day long. Gross. Well, with Skechers, you can. Because most Skechers are machine washable. That's right. Skechers are specially made so you can toss them right in the washing machine and keep them clean and looking new. And when they look new, you can confidently wear them longer. That's less shoes you're going to want to throw away, which means less waste. And it'll save you tons of dough. I love that. Plus, machine washable Skechers are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. So when your kids get their shoes dirty, and we know they will, just wash them. Brilliant. And even our latest technology, new hands-free Skechers slip-ins are washable. You just step right in and go without bending down or even touching your shoes. So give your Skechers the same treatment you give your clothes. Just toss them in the washing machine and keep them looking brand spanking new. Find machine washable Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear happens to be sold.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
Good fade, Jorge. Nicely done. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. The movie was Saturday Night, by the way.
Saturday Night. That's it. The run-up to the first ever Saturday Night Live production that Cousin Greg is in and a whole bunch of other people.
He plays two characters in that movie. He plays
does he really?
Jim, the guy who did Muppets.
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, and he also plays Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman?
Yeah,
he plays both?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a trip.
Yeah.
Those are two very different sorts of guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that one. The NFL wanted to try and have the kickoff be a play.
Yeah.
Right? The whole point of this new XFL-style kickoff was so we would get a football player.
Get action.
Right. Somebody would try to return it. It really, and again, it's preseason, so take it for what it's worth. What do we give it to? Halloween before we can really definitively say whether we like it or not? I think that's probably it's 2 months.
Yeah. I was going to say
right?
give it 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, of NFL football.
Nobody's kicking off. They're just deciding to kick it out of the end zone like they have been doing for a long time, because if you kick it out of the end zone, the ball's placed at the 30-yard line. And Kyle Shanahan was saying it's a hell of an idea. I haven't thought of it like that. Yeah, we're all talking about that, and it looks like it'll make a lot of sense once the season starts. But this was our first week with us doing it. It was our first week really getting more teams besides Hall of Fame game and stuff to evaluate it. When you can start there at the 30 and the average starting line's the 29, it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference to really go with the risk of it. It can also be an advantage, too. We'll see how it goes. Our 11 are out there, how our returners are and stuff, whether people give you the opportunity for it, but it's kind of a wait-and-see approach. I've said this before. What is the one thing that football coaches and just are they hate? They hate risk, right? They this idea of they want to control every possible thing that they can. They hate the unknown. And if you're telling these guys, hey, listen, you can give your opponent the ball in the 30 and they got to drive 70 yards every time, or hey, maybe once in a while you might tackle somebody at the 22, but every once in a while you also might have them pop one on you, or they might get it out to midfield. They're going to take the 30 every time. Hey, I'm hopeful, but I'm not terribly optimistic that this is going to change that kickoff. I think we're going to see a ton of touchbacks. We're just going to see them starting at the 30 instead of the 25.
I think I would say for preseason, if there's a time to just kind of test things out, and maybe, listen, I don't think this is the case, but it's not uncommon in preseason where you obviously you'll hold back on what you're going to actually do in the regular season. Are there some coaches out there that have a little bit more of a strategy on this? Is there, if you see a team that's just doing a really good job of being able to pin players and pin teams inside the 20, does that become a copycat that we haven't seen yet? It's going to take some time to figure out. I think to make an assumption.
But what if in the attempt to try to figure it out, you give up a few? You know what I mean? Like in the attempt to try to pin somebody behind their own 20,
100%.
Now all of a sudden they've started with the ball in the 54 times.
Can I tell you then it's going to take care of itself, and we're going to see the ball placed at the 30 probably 19 times out of 20.
75% of kicks last year were not returned. Mm-hmm. This sounds like this is going to be really, really – the 5 yards that you're – basically, the NFL was gambling. If we say, hey, the ball comes out to the 30, teams will try to pin you in. We're going to get a play. We're going to move everybody up so there's not those crazy
What's
collisions.
the number then? Is it if you kick it out of the end zone at the 35?
Maybe.
Is it as simple as
Eventually, it's going to be like, that's...
Because if you want action, I do think, what was it? They're saying right now it's at the 29 is the average?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, then
There's no difference.
There's no difference. But if you're getting the ball at the 35, and that's the point where it becomes the tipping point, it's got to be something like that.
Or just put it at the 25 and let's go. Right? Game
Will
starts.
it eventually be that?
Feels like it.
Okay.
Because the way to make it a play again.
Are NFL fans upset if that happens?
I wouldn't be. I mean,
is it that big of a deal?
How many times do you get a big kick return in a season? Once or twice? It just doesn't happen all that often. So we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Notre Dame is optimistic about their upcoming football season because per an email that was sent to their student body, Notre Dame has adjusted its final exam schedule with the 12-team college football playoff in mind. Exams which would typically begin or ordinarily end, I should say, on the 20th of December will now end on Thursday, December 19th. The first-round playoff games will be played on the 20th and the 21st. Notre Dame will be in that playoff way more than they're not. Way more than they're not because Notre Dame's good for TV. Notre Dame plays kind of a goofy schedule where they're not just, it's not a meat grinder along the way.
Yeah.
They're not in a conference. Everybody wants them in. I don't know how far they'll advance regularly, but more often than not, they will be in that opening round game.
I know you're a huge religious guy.
Yes.
And you are at church probably 3 days
when I'm
a
not
week.
here, I am worshiping.
You're usually reading the gospel.
Yes.
That just a second, Mace. This is very important.
The hell
here.
is that set up?
I don't know.
Yeah, Travis and Church.
Travis and Church. So with that
Watch
in
for
mind,
lightning strikes.
Yeah.
has Notre Dame just pissed off the football gods to say that we are going to change our entire schedule for our students because we're that confident that come December 20th, they're going to be in the college football playoff?
No, because the opening
Is that
round,
what they did? Did they change
Yeah,
their...
they did.
They moved the exams up a day, so the next day where the opening game could be, they're not in school.
Well, that's a little
you believe
presumptuous.
in
That's a
football
little
gods and
presumptuous.
baseball gods?
I don't believe in football or baseball gods.
I do.
Okay. You do. I know
do.
you do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. I do not.
DeMarco, are you an observer of the sports
Football
gods?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm agnostic. Not an agnostic. I mean, there could be something out there.
They're willing to accept the possibility.
Exactly. But I do think it's presumptuous that Notre Dame would move their
if they were
exams.
scheduling exams for the championship game or the Final Four, yet Notre Dame's going to be in the top 12 virtually every year.
Well, if they're
You
not,
really think so?
Yes.
If
I
they're
do
not this year, they will no longer change their school schedule to
Yeah,
dictate
right.
when the hell that happens.
Notre Dame's good for college football.
You think they're going to be in it every year?
Not every year, but they'll be in it more often than they
Notre
aren't.
Dame.
Everybody.
12 teams get
this
in.
is like getting
12 teams get in. That's
12
true.
This is like having the Yankees in the playoffs.
Right.
This is like having the Lakers in the playoffs. It's good for business.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, they're playing Syracuse and Rutgers and
How dare you disrespect
Temple,
Wake Forest and
Temple, Wake
Boston
Forest,
College,
Boston
like this.
College,
the service academies.
Oh, Army, Navy.
I believe they play all three.
Army, Navy, and Air Force. They
If
play all
Coast
three.
Guard put a team together, they'd run it.
Right,
out
it's
there,
too.
too. Yeah.
It's that. That's their schedule plus USC.
And so
Yes.
that's why they're like, no, we don't want that game to go away. Yeah, it's the only hard
it's
game
the only
you play.
tough game, exactly.
Yeah.
They got 3 ranked teams on here.
Who?
We got Texas A&M on the road to start.
Yep,
that's a tough.
That's a tough
real
game
win.
at College Station.
That's a tough
Florida
one.
State at home.
Yeah, I think Florida
team.
State's a little
Always.
overrated.
They're
They
top
lost,
10 to
they
start
lost
this year.
most of their defense and their quarterback.
2 of them are on the Rams.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Final game of the year at USC.
Yeah, at USC. Big game. And I do think that ultimately somebody wrote yesterday that it's just sacrilegious to suggest that the day will come where USC doesn't play Notre Dame every single year. I am of the belief that if you want to be in that top 12, you've got to minimize the difficulty of your non-conference schedule, and that includes
Lincoln Riley's
dropping
argument.
Notre Dame, maybe playing them every couple of years.
It makes sense. Like it's a logical argument to not play the game.
Yeah.
It's a disappointing argument though at the same time. Like that's
Why make it harder? Yeah.
I get it. I'm not arguing that it's not the air quote smart thing to do
Right.
to increase your chances of getting in there, but I don't know. SC and Notre Dame's a game I look forward to every year.
It could come down to the last game of the year, and SC gets bounced out of the top 12 by Notre Dame.
It might. It also could.
They could have had a game against Mercer, like
maybe
Alabama
you get a
does.
rivalry of USC and Pasadena City College.
It also could come down to a situation where USC's 14, Notre Dame's 11. You go beat them and you get in.
And get in. Okay,
so it cuts
cut the
both
other
ways.
way.
It could cut both ways, much like Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out.
How much weight have you
That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Emily, don't listen to this because I'm going to ask DeMarco.
Walk talk. Here we go. Walk talk.
Wait, hold on. Earthquake.
She got
on CNN yesterday. I know.
CBS New York.
Yeah.
My cousin in Washington, D.C. saw it.
It pretty much came down to you and Malika Andrews over at NBA
She had much
Today.
more grace than I did.
She was like right on, completely, and you did what every school kid should do,
You're
which is
supposed
crawl
to
under
do.
the desk.
No, she did the right thing, and Slee and Beto and I are like,
We're the
wonder if the roof's going to
idiots.
fall
We're
in.
the idiots.
I
Like
just,
this could
I
fall on
stared
us.
into, and I'm not kidding, stared into
Morales'
Morales' eyes.
Did
I
you
was
think
like,
that
oh,
was
Did you hear
God,
what he
is
said
this
earlier?
where it ends?
Did you hear what he said earlier?
No.
That he said, what's the finger in the mouth thing? What the hell's
Finger
going
in
on?
the mouth?
Finger in the mouth. The old
Yeah.
finger in the mouth. What does that
I
mean?
don't know.
He basically said that if this was it, he was going to go down with you and he was going to put his finger in your mouth.
What does
Why
that
is the
mean?
What is
finger-
that
I
even?
don't wanna
What
know.
is that?
What is
You
he
can
even
ask him
talking
in 9
about?
minutes.
So, in other words, everything is
I don't know.
collapsing,
I don't know.
and he
I don't
wants
know.
to stick a finger in my mouth. What is wrong
Do
with
me a
this
favor.
guy?
He's going to
Well, where would you like to start?
Is he going to be here
at
today?
1:15.
He's here today.
He's
Oh,
going to be
God.
here with you.
The last thing I'm thinking about.
I'm sure we'll get a full explanation.
First time, guys? First time you've been through a quake on the air? Yeah?
I
On
had
the air,
been
yeah.
on one. It's my second one on the air, but I wasn't on the air. Jim was on the air.
Yep.
I was producing when John Calipari was actually in the studio with us.
Oh,
and
wow.
and he, Calipari's not a Californian. He's like,
he freaked out.
Do we run? Like,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah.
And Jim and I forget who else was, Jay Stu, and the guys were like, nah, it just doesn't feel like the end. We're
No, it'll
gonna be
pass.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll
We're gonna be
pass.
all right.
Yeah.
You carry a kettlebell when you go on for a walk?
Yeah, 5 miles.
Like
This morning,
how big a kettlebell?
35 pounds.
35. And you just where you hold it right
Any
here?
way
you
you
walking?
can. So we
Put it up
alternate. It's
like
me and my
this?
buddy Max. I sent the video to Cappy and those guys this morning. So we start when it's dark, 5 a.m., can't
Yep.
see. So I do a lap, he does a lap, I do a lap, he does a lap, and we solve the world's problems as we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And
so
you're
it's fun.
carrying now, have you thought about this, Travis? Carrying a kettlebell. Doesn't have to be 35 pounds. Could be a lesser
Could be a-
kettlebell.
well,
you
so
could put those
it's-
ankle weights on.
It's great for
ankle
core.
weights.
Ankle
warmers.
weights,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, like they put,
No, I know
sometimes
you little-
when I'm
the
doing
sand
core,
in
they
there,
put
yeah.
the sand weights around
The reason I'm not 35 pounds, I'm not a crazy person. I don't think I could.
You can
B,
do
I
it.
don't have a partner.
Yeah.
it
would deter snatchings.
No, it's true.
If I were walking around with a 30-pound
Don't ask
cannonball
about
on a
this.
handle,
Don't ask about this,
snatchings.
Yeah,
you
don't
and I have
ask
talked
about
about this. We always worry about
being snatched.
Yes.
I do worry. I
Yeah,
do.
what did you
Come
think
on,
of
I
that?
check
man.
my 6 every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's
I
behind
don't-
me?
You think you're going to be snatched?
On my walks.
Mace, don't ask. Bro.
By who?
Don't
Who
ask.
knows?
Mace,
That's
don't
how they
ask.
get you.
Is that honestly a thing?
Yes.
Do you know anyone that's been snatched?
No, but that's how.
Do you know anyone that
don't
weighs
get snatched?
2+ and gets snatched? I don't.
No, I don't think anybody could snatch you.
We're not
You're
gonna-
more than a snatch.
We're not going to wind up on a yacht in the Med somewhere.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. right.
Maybe
Bro, they're
somebody
gonna throw
has
out
a
their
very specific taste.
They're going to throw out their lower back trying to snatch.
Yeah.
Maybe not if they bring ether.
Oh, ether.
They could-
So you've
they-
chloroform. What about chloroform?
Yeah, does
Where they put
this rag smell funny?
Yeah,
Excuse me,
exactly.
sir.
Yeah,
Can
the
you help me
chloroform?
put this couch in this truck?
Yeah. By the way, never help anybody put a couch in a truck,
No.
and definitely don't be the person that goes
No,
in
I'll help
first.
from the outside. You
I'll
get
help
in
from the outside.
Yeah.
You go in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how James Gum started.
James
in,
Gum.
That is a
in
creepy
Silence
part of
the
that
Lambs.
movie.
It's
When
the
he
whole
turns
thing.
it and she goes in first, that is-
He's
yeah.
got
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
cast on his wrist.
So,
yeah,
the
very
fake cast.
upsetting.
Do you know who did that for real? Serial killers have done that. The cast on the wrist guy. That
Oh,
was
really?
that was a
They-
Ted Bundy thing.
Yeah, you feel less vulnerable.
Like, I'm not scared because that person has a cast.
They're injured.
Yeah, it's very, very deceitful.
No.
So I will keep my eyes open for you in case there's a snatching around here.
Do you really check your 6 constantly?
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Paranoid,
I genuinely, truly do.
When you say check your 6,
look behind you.
Why?
Because somebody could be sneaking up on you.
You're walking in like this Tony neighborhood.
First of all, my neighborhood has been grossly misrepresented.
No, you live in
it's very nice.
Tony
I live in a
neighborhood.
Nice, genuinely
I've
speaking,
never used
very
this
safe.
phrase, by the way. Tony neighborhood.
What is Tony neighborhood?
I'm not sure.
What is Tony
No,
neighborhood?
my interpretation means like leafy.
No, mine is fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah,
let's
fancy.
see.
Fancy's a good way of putting it.
Tony?
Tony.
Okay.
No, Tony. I think it's just Tony.
This guy's going to get snatched in front of an Erewhon.
Tony can be
It's not
used
happening.
as an Here you go,
It's
guys.
not
Tony can be used as an adjective to describe something that have an aristocratic or high tone style or manner. For example, you might describe a private school as Tony. It can be also used to describe something as fashionable and expensive, such as a fashionable avenue with Tony boutiques. Synonyms for Tony include chic, smart, voguish, stylish, and fashionable.
That accurately describes your neighborhood. That is your neighborhood.
Somebody's
Tony
gonna
neighborhood.
Somebody's gonna try to grab Travis. Like, throw him in the Bentley.
Right, no, somebody out there is listening right now, and they're saying, "Wait a minute, he lives in a Tony neighborhood. Let's go."
You can never be sure.
You know why I'm good? Because it's not going to happen to me.
Exactly.
No rags, no couches, no
we
nothing.
check our 6.
Tony or not,
Check
it's not
the
going to happen.
6.
How did Fitness Day go for you guys?
Well, we haven't done it yet.
Oh, yeah,
what do you guys?
doing?
I don't know.
DeMarco, I thought you did yours already.
No, I walked in late when they were doing the planks, and it was
I think
awesome.
we should do all the things.
What discipline were
I
you
believe
guys
we're doing
assigned?
squats in here.
Well, that's not so bad.
Okay, good. No.
That's not so bad.
No, squats that's fine.
Push-ups is
in
the hard
next
one.
in the next room. I saw Mark Cates.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
Almost a
Dude.
6-minute plank.
It was
That's
awesome.
impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Really
Cates
impressive.
is good.
Parker Bell right behind him, and Kobe Walsh was right
Kobe's
behind
pretty
him.
fit.
Kobe is, yeah. Kobe,
Kobe the one that dropped first.
He did a 5-minute plank, though.
They were all over 5 minutes.
Yeah, they all made it past
Yeah.
5
We
minutes.
did. What did we do? It was like the basically beginner of the Navy SEAL program.
What was it?
We did that.
Jumping jacks?
10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We did a full workout.
So what actually did you do?
We did jumping jacks.
No, did you really do that? What are you like in kindergarten?
Yeah, we're 9.
We get squats, you get jumping
We
jacks. What are you
did-
like?
We did really high level.
What are you like?
jumping
Third
jacks.
graders?
Hey, Mace,
Seriously.
afterwards, we drew our hand.
And made it into a turkey.
Hand turkeys.
Yes. Or you put the handprint in the clay and you.
I had a fruit roll up and a high C.
Oh, there you go. Juice box and.
We all did hit the hand turkeys in class, right?
Of course.
Okay, and you give your mom, your dad the hand turkey
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
Father's Day,
And
give
she
you
gave
the
it right back.
construction paper tie.
Yeah.
I remember thinking as a kid,
right
like
back.
giving your mom the hand turkey, like my mom's going to, or you the little cruddy mug you'd make in ceramics, right? You get those things that parent, you're like, ugh, this sucks.
Wait a minute. Are you saying as a parent?
No. Like as a kid, you're like really genuinely excited to give
Right.
it to him, and as a parent, you pretend to be, but it's like this is like it's not even sweet.
Well,
It's
what
not
about
even a
the
good try?
joy of it?
No,
Don't you see
it's like
the
I have to
joy
put
of
this
it?
somewhere for a
You
couple
just
of weeks.
did this last year.
Yeah, I have to. now I'm responsible for holding on to this for a while.
Okay, let me ask you
That's
this.
good. I hope your kids aren't
Do
listening.
you save it? Do you still have handprints?
I have
Everything.
a couple handprint things, and anything that was specifically written to me from
Right,
them, I
right.
save.
Okay.
But just like the school projects, the second they've moved on to the next one, that thing's in the trash.
Did they go to a Tony school?
They did not. They did
A
not.
Tony school.
Nor was
Nice
it
ass school.
Nor was it chic, smart, voguish, stylish, or aristocratic. The Rogers clan is a public school clan.
Oh,
Love it.
good.
Yes.
I'm the
Good for
product
you.
of public schools.
Yeah.
I love my
too.
public school education.
Absolutely. None of us are private school guys.
I don't think.
right?
Did anybody go to a
And
private
did you-
school?
and-
Emily did.
No, I don't think she did.
Did you
No,
go
I
to a
went
private
public-
school?
I went to a public school.
Yeah.
Public school,
Oh,
yeah.
Her,
Our
she got
school
a
had,
public
like-
school teacher in her
Honestly,
family.
our private schools in my hometown are worse than our public schools.
Really?
Yeah, our private schools were only very small and always religious.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I was my parent. We didn't have private school money.
How big was
No.
your high school?
My graduating class was 350.
I think our high school, granted, had over 3,000.
What?
Not graduating, but 3,000.
We had
high schools. It was
900
huge.
kids in my graduating class.
Yeah,
Did
it's probably
you
something like
really?
that. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge. Yeah, big.
Yeah, there
That's
was
how I know
there was
Where did you rank?
Not in the 100, 200, 300, or 400.
Really?
I was probably maybe in the fours. I was
Well,
probably
you're like middle of the
solidly
pack?
in the middle of the pack.
He's a baseball player. He was a
What
pitcher.
is a 3-point? What is my high school GPA? So like 3.3 or 4.
Yeah, that's where I was. Something like that.
That's kind of about where
That's
I was.
good. That's
3.2, 3.3.
that's an A average, is it not?
No, it's a B.
No,
That's a B
That's a
average.
B?
That's a slightly above a B average.
Yeah.
70 percentile, right?
Is it?
That's got to be. Do you have a bunch of scholars ahead of you?
I went to a good high school. There was a lot of kids that went to impressive places.
That would have been top of the class in my high
Oh,
school.
no,
Really?
definitely not
Or at
top
least
of the
close,
class.
yeah.
But I could throw strikes, so that was far
That
more
was
important.
the most
There you
important
go.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Slee, what was your GPA? You strike me as a relatively smart guy.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
Probably 3-ish, 3.2-ish.
That's
right around
good,
there.
yeah, so B-ish.
How about you?
I got a B.
A B or B's?
A, B.
You got one B.
1B.
And all A's?
Yeah.
Oh, you
All
were an
A's.
academic.
Friggin' Mr. Kratz in
Were you
in
the valedictorian, Mace?
You know what's amazing? That 1B that Mr. Kratz gave me
Took you out.
took me out.
Wow.
Took me out. I would have tied for the lead.
Wow.
Tied for the lead, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Mr. Kratz?
Mr. Kratz.
No, I was-
K-R-A-T-Z.
I was,
Perfect name
let's
for a
do
guy.
some B minuses and occasional C plus, but right in that B area.
What,
See, now-
what was the class?
It was algebra.
Oh, man.
I avoided math classes.
Okay.
Like when I was going to Bowling Green, I don't know if this speaks well of Bowling Green. I never took a math class. Did you ever take a math class in college?
I tested
Once.
out of it, thank God.
Yeah.
How do you test
So
out of
when you
math?
come in to avoid math,
You have
you
to
can take
take
a
a-
math test, and if you score at a certain point, you don't have to take any more math.
Got it.
Yeah. So I barely
You and
cleared
I
the
were
bar.
opposite. You said you never did homework, right?
Never.
You killed it in tests. I
Yes.
wish I could do that. I would just basically work. I'm like, well, I'm just going to do homework and extra credit because I'm going
And
to
not
probably.
test.
I
Yeah.
did not do.
You didn't turn in your homework? Or you did it at school?
I would turn it at high school. I did the homework that was required, but in college, I would not go to class, and I would read the books. I would get I would get the books that were assigned. I would read the books, and I would never
I'm
show
with
up
you.
for the class.
Once they gave
and
me
I would
the
take
college
test.
classes, all my college classes were write a paper.
Yes.
Like I never went to class, and then at the end of it, they said, "Yeah, turn in your paper," and I was like, "All right, that's good."
Write
I
a paper, I'm okay
One
with.
all-nighter,
Don't do that.
and
Yep.
I'd turn in a paper.
I can write.
Yeah.
If it's fill up a blue book with something that isn't utter nonsense,
Yep,
and
you
that's
can
a
do that.
C plus or a B
Yeah.
minus,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Good.
Show up and
Once
try.
they gave me the syllabus, I'm like, why am I coming?
You were an athlete,
suckers.
But
Yeah,
I'm serious,
you
but
didn't
why
have
am I
to-
here?
Both of you
It's
don't
all in
count.
this-
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
You guys literally were athletes in college.
Yeah, and it
And
tells
you
you
ended
Mark was an
up-
athlete at a
and
real
you ended up
school.
winning
Still had
a.
to stay eligible, right? You know, we had to do something.
No,
You
you
are
did it.
speaking my language,
See?
my man.
We majored in what? Eligibility.
Eligibility. Can I take this pass, no pass? That was my number one question when I would enroll. Do I have to
guys
take this
win.
for a grade?
Thank
no,
you.
I'll take it.
I took Rat Lab for 5 credits.
Rat Lab?
Rat Lab? What is
Lab.
Rat Lab?
We'd go
You
in and
cut
we-
up a rat?
We would change the
That sounds
the
terrible.
rat droppings. We'd change the little thing
In the cages?
In the cages,
And
take
that
off.
was
5 credits.
5 credits?
5 credit class. Rat Lab.
Isn't
That's awesome.
UW's
this
a
is-
good school?
It was awesome.
But he's a football player. He gets to do whatever he
That was
wants.
the one class.
Yeah.
And
And they were
Swahili.
good.
And
they were
Swahili.
good.
Was that pass fail?
What?
Rat class?
Rat Lab was pass
Rat
fail.
Lab,
5
yeah.
credits.
Swahili? Did I hear that right?
Swahili. The professor was so cool.
Say good morning in Swahili.
He was so cool, but he would leave his book out on his desk while he gave us tests and leave the room.
Oh.
I was like, why?
Because you're.
Can I take a guess?
know
here?
why.
I'm going to try
There's
to
a big
divine
game coming up on
something about
Saturday. That's why.
this instructor. Was he a football fan?
No.
No.
Not even close.
No.
He
Okay.
actually trusted us.
Wow.
Sucker.
That is so
Poor
foolish.
guy.
Yeah, that was his first mistake. Super.
We'll let you
yeah.
get back to your Tony neighborhood for a big walk.
I'm going to be driven home so I can go to
Tony,
my long
exactly.
Tony walk in the neighborhood. Super Crosstalk's brought to you by In-N-Out. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger's all about. Or
You never have to miss a moment